and justice for all.
Brother Fleshman, if you would, lead us in prayer, please.
Let us pray. Gracious and eternal Father, we ask now for your presence in the midst of this meeting. Lord God, we pray that you will loose understanding and civility. God, we come against any man because we know that your word says no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against us thou shalt condemn. So God, just loose your spirit among us now. God, let us move forward for the greater good of the village of Dolton. God, do exactly what it is that you're desiring to do. We pray now, God, for unity in this village. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Next, we have general announcements. I'm going to start with several announcements so that residents understand what's going on. At the town hall address that was last week, I announced that there will be a seating requirement in a number. So we're going to start that at the next board meeting, but I wanted to announce it at a regular scheduled meeting that you guys can watch via live stream on YouTube, and we're still going to stream it so that everybody that can't fit in the room or cannot be in the room, you can still view what's going on here in the board meeting. I just want to announce that here today because I announced it at the town hall address and a lot of people wasn't there. So I wanted you guys to understand what is the steps moving forward for the next scheduled board meeting. Next, we will have citizens address. Everyone will have 3 minutes, and please, whatever you do, be respectful. But you do have 3 minutes, and it is public comment. It is not Q&A, it is public comment. So what that means is you have the opportunity to address the board as relates to anything you want to talk about, which should relate to agenda items. But sometimes residents have issues with down wires, trees, things of that nature. You can address that as well. But please, for the record, say however you feel or whatever's on your mind as relates to agenda items. Those are my announcements. Okay, and the attorney said, please state your name at the beginning of citizens address clearly for the record. All right, and
updated, remodeled village hall. It looks really nice. I want to announce that people know I suffer from multiple sclerosis, MS walk in Dolton, May 14th at the Dolton Park District from 9:30 to about 12. Registration starts at 9:30, walk-ins at around 10 o'clock. That will be, again, May 14th. This is Saturday. This is the second Saturday of the month. We all know we do total tea with the trustees, second Saturday of the month. So this second Saturday, my tea with the trustees edition will be tea will be the MS walk, multiple sclerosis walk. And it's the first one holding the south suburbs, usually downtown or Berlin Park. It's the first time it's been primarily in the black area, black and Mexican area. So again, I want to invite everybody out to that. Also, as if we're haters, as if we're childish, or we're just not doing the business of the village. Majority of good things that this new administration has done, we voted for all of it. It couldn't have been done without the board of trustees. The money that's spent has to run through the board of trustees. The new equipment that's bought in public works was voted on by the board of trustees. So when you hear all this it's unfortunate that we get left out of that. And like we're haters, or we mess with employees, and we don't care about people's jobs. I was an employee, and I've been there before. As far as people picking with your jobs, I wouldn't do that. So I'm saying that to say that this board of trustees have been putting the village first to vote on key things. This last budget, this administration got more money, 10 police officers, new fire truck, new public works front loader, sewage truck. The stuff that we voted on has never been voted on. Because we did not get no credit at this last point. We were really stepped to the side like we just haters and we just want to cause disruption. That's not the reality. So that's all I want to say for my announcements. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board member?
Yeah, may I be recognized?
Yes. Go ahead, trustee.
Just, good evening, residents. Just want to announce, I've been talking with the chief, and one day before this month is out, we're going to have a location possibly outside the police station. I do have on a safety issue, some gun locks that been donated. This will be the second time they'll be distributed in Dolton. Some residents didn't get them the first time, but we will announce a date. It will be before this month is out. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I be recognized?
Go ahead, trustee.
Thank you very much. My comment is kind of a little, I guess, geared more towards some of the comments that were made at the town hall meeting, in particular, some of the statements about why the board has taken, or I'll even say for myself, why I may have taken some of the positions that I have in terms of what has been done wrong. Most recently, and I'll just go back to the last 3 months, manual checks are checks that are just written for spontaneous things, or things that are emergencies that were unplanned for. In the month of February, there are $125,000 worth of manual checks written. Those should be presented to the board, approved, and issued out. In February, that did not occur. Warrant list. That will list $0.1 million worth of spending. To spend money, so in order for the board to approve it, we should have got that proper approvals or not. And that information was not presented for the board to even make that decision. More than that, the process for checks, because this is all set up on checks and balances. And writing the checks for $125,000 worth of checks, as well as $2 million worth of checks, there should be 2 signatures on every check. The authorized signers on our bank account are the February and March without her authorization to sign $2 million worth of bills that were not properly presented to the board. In the month of April, again, the warrant list or the information was not presented to the board. That's $1.8 million worth of spending. Now, I would take from what I've seen that at least using this clerk stamp without her authority was recognized or changed, because this time the checks were signed only with the mayor's signature on it, without the 2 signatures required for the necessary checks and balances. In total, that's $4 million in the last 3 months spent without the appropriate checks and balances. That was one of many things that was stated. That's the one that I would highlight, and I will not go into the
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to say, well, one, we are having a housing committee meeting this Thursday. Our residents, feel free to join us. And just in regards to a few things that were stated at the town hall meeting. I'd like to just state that I've been here quite some time as a resident, 20 years, and I've been to pretty much every board meeting. At every meeting, hey, my goal is to speak up for the residents. Let's speak up for the residents. Residents, I'm here for you. So I always admired how she say that. And I was thinking, hey, you know, as trustee, when I was elected, I couldn't wait to speak up for the residents and to do the job that I told them that I'll do when I walked up to their door. And I'm just a bit disappointed at how now that I'm in the exact same and I thought that she would just be a little bit more supportive in regards to allowing me to do my job. As I stated to her, as trustee, I have certain roles that I'm just supposed to do, like oversee finances. We're entitled to a warrant list. Any dime spent by the taxpayers, we should be privy of it. We're responsible for the finances. Implement ordinances. If a resident call me and say, hey, we're concerned about some of the village's hiring practices, which could you all do? It's my job as trustee to implement an ordinance so that the hire and fire process, we can have a part of that. So that should come in front of the board. When a resident asks, hey, I want to speak in regards to Facebook, or I'm being blocked, or can you address this issue for me? I should be able to do so. So when I send an email and I request certain agenda items, it's not added to the agenda. These are just other trustee. I know everyone continues to ask, hey, can you all work as a team? And of course, that is the goal. I've met with the mayor several times. My whole goal is to just work for the people. And I'm just hoping that she learns to compromise. I say all the time, this is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. The system was designed with 8 elected officials in mind, all 6 trustees, the clerk, and the mayor. So with it being designed with all of us in mind, there is a checks and balances, and there's a process. So that's why we're here, mainly because we have to follow a process and procedures and protocols. So again, residents, as I stated, I will speak up for you all, and this is something wrong, I have to address it. So that's my.
Next, we have corporate bills. Let's start with we're gonna do board meeting for February 7th, 2022, board meeting for 4th, 2022. Is there a motion to pay the corporate bills?
I want to ask the attorney the proper way. I want to just have a point of discussion, but I'm not motioning to pay them at this time. What would be the proper motion to discuss this?
Well, routinely under Robert's Rules of Order, before a matter can be substantively discussed, there would be a motion and a second, after which time then the matter would be available for discussion by the trustees and the mayor. Having a motion on any particular item does not mean that that particular trustee has agreement with or consent to or is voting in favor of it when the ultimate substantive vote may occur. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, it does, Attorney. Thank you. Well, I will motion for discussion purposes that we discuss corporate bills.
Second.
Well, it would be just a
Motion to approve the corporate.
Approve all 3 sets, trustee?
Okay, yeah, so I guess my question is more for confirmation, because these were the bills that I referenced in my statements.
All 3, okay. It's been motion and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, these were the bills I was referencing, not just one. As a point of confirmation, all the bills on the warrant list that was provided to us Friday, have those already all been paid?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know, I have no further comment. I just think those should not have been paid without a proper approval. So I'll ask the other trustees.
Heard the mayor, thank you. Do any other trustee have any discussion regarding this item?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, trustee.
I think Trustee House laid it out very clearly. We vote for stuff that's already paid. For almost approximately $4 million paid without board approval. That's just unacceptable. So why is this even on here if it's already paid? So we vote for it and then say, well, y'all paid it. No. There has to be some accountability for doing things wrong. $4 million of bills being paid without board approval is not acceptable. So I guess we motion to table it or whatever, but two of these already been paid without us. So you give this to us after the fact. It's not correct. So I don't know.
Without the approval of the manual checks, that was not subsequently approved.
So are you saying that February 7th, you guys approved that at your illegal meeting, correct?
I'm not certain what meeting approved the rules, minus with the removal of all manual checks.
So for the record, anybody got anything else? Okay, for the record, residents, so you can understand where we are and what we're speaking to. Bear with me, my voice in and out, I'm trying to get it together. What we're speaking of is the Board of Trustees decided to have a separate board meeting from the one that's scheduled regularly here in the Village of Dolton. We normally meet the first and third Monday of every month. Because of the discord amongst the board decided to have their own board meeting, which we never ever do. Not come to do their duties as trustees, which is to pay bills. I still was present for every single board meeting, and I, as your leader, decided to make sure that all bills got paid. That includes our police officers, our firemen, our public works, all public safety items got paid at the meeting. I don't understand why any trustee would feel that it's okay not to show up, to be present, to take care of their duties, what they got elected to do. I hear trustee over say that, but no one showed up to make sure that you guys was safe. I made sure that Henry's name on the paychecks that go out to our police officers. It goes out to our public work, our employees that work here in the Village of Dolton. That's what happened. So people can say whatever they want up here. They can point the finger, they can say what I shouldn't do or wouldn't do, but the problem is they have to take responsibility for their action, which is show up to a board meeting and take care of the business at hand. We get paid to take care of board meetings every 2 weeks, which is to pay corporate bills, which includes the employee. I have not spent $4 million. They throw numbers out, they pull numbers out of the air, wherever they get their numbers from, at least the staff got paid here, because I didn't want anyone to call. We have a police officer on call to go to that property, but guess what? Y'all ain't paying them for 2 months that y'all missed here at the board meeting. So what do? I take responsibility, because who gonna get the hit? The mayor. It will be the mayor's fault. It will not be the board's fault when something go wrong and we do not pay our public servants, which is our police department. And I stress that because we have to make hard choices. Sometimes people don't understand what it is you're doing or why you're doing it. And I'm explaining to you why I did what I did, which is pay bills. You have to keep, like some, you have to keep people fed. People come here and do a job, and we have to pay them. If we do not pay them, guess what? Now the residents. Now you don't have public service. So that is the reason for why today this the trustees showing up to a board meeting, which you guys elected them to do. I never not did my job, not showing up to an actual board meeting. I always come equipped and prepared to do the will of the people, and that is to go over court bills. So that is the reason if the board of trustees chooses not to pay the bills or approve them right now, then that's step right. But right now, the bills are paid, we are on time, lights and water will continue. The City of Chicago, we haven't missed a beat, which we signed agreements to make sure that these things are timely and in order, despite what people may feel up here. That's just like you, the head of your household. No matter what, you're gonna make sure that light, gas, and water to do to oversee the village to make sure that you're not in a hole. Any other comments, trustee?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We're not pulling these numbers out of nowhere. It's the warrant list. It's the numbers, it's the monthly bills. And we have a quorum. It's a board of trustees meeting. We had a quorum. You could have sent the bills to a warrant list for a consent agenda or something. We paid them anyway, and we never seen them. We've never seen them. So that's just unacceptable. All we asking this administration to do is this former trustee to sit down here and bend over and say, work with your board, mayor. Talk to your board, mayor. That's not what we're experiencing right now. So you have to be accountable for spending $4 million. Yes, we're not pulling these over. $1 million. We're not pulling these, that's the monthly bills. I mean, $125,000 in manual checks, which they used to make a big stink out of manual checks get paid without board approval. This stuff that been going on that she complained about. So all we're asking to do, be the mayor that you complained about. That's all we asked you to do. So we didn't show up to meet because you started muting the mics. Is this the level of control and a lot of dictatorship that we're witnessing and participating is wrong. So we had our own Zoom link and we conducted the meeting because she wasn't putting herself on the agenda. She pushed stuff through, they wouldn't put on the agenda. That's wrong. It was wrong when she was a trustee. If she put something through and the administration don't put it on the agenda, what we did, she muted her mics and did put on the meeting, she presided over the whole 2 times we did, and she didn't want to get on. So we conducted the this stuff was paid without board approval. That's unacceptable. No matter how way you spin it, look at it, left, right, up, down, you cannot pay bills without board approval. Not even let us see it, not even send it to us. And then we had to pass an ordinance to even have the village finance person give us the bills. Because they were telling them, don't give them the bills. No, don't give them that. Don't give them that. We're over the money. And this administration is stopping us from seeing the bills. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. So we're not making this stuff up. And that's what this administration always does. We're not making stuff up. No, we're not making facts, actual facts. And we want to work. We didn't want to work with this administration. We wanted to pass all the spending that we did when we first got there. All the compromising that we did this first 6-7 months in this administration. We compromised so much, and we get spit on, talked bad to. Everybody watches Zoom meetings. You get talked to like you're a child, like you work for her or something like that, and y'all seen that. Some of y'all watching it and get mad because like, dang, she's gonna talk to y'all like that. Children, we suffered that, and we took it with dignity and professionalism, and we still here. We want to move forward this village forward. Even this foreign, all this stuff, this money that we spend, we don't know how much they spent on this. We don't. It looks nice. We don't know how. I think they spent almost $30,000. We don't know. We just want transparency. There's nothing wrong with transparency. And that's what she demanded as a trustee, and we're demanding that of her. And that's not happening.
All right,
May I speak?
yes. Go ahead.
Just in regards to the bills, I think that was my main concern. What is my main concern in regards to voting to approve the bills? I understand that I'm new, but I don't think that I would be doing justice for the residents if I went and approved something that I hadn't seen. It just wouldn't make sense. And I just wouldn't be doing a great job as trustee if I did that. So in that event, yeah, I'm with the other trustees. I won't be able to approve this.
I just have one thing to add to that. I did come to the village hall seeking a warrant list. I was told to ask the person over finance, ask the village administrator, well, ask the mayor. I had a meeting with the mayor, and I was told that I would get that warrant list. And as of today, I just got the warrant list Saturday. So again, games aren't being played. You come here, I sat down, had a meeting, I'm willing to work. Let's get this village back on track. Again, games are being played with the trustees. As I say, you ask this person, you ask that person, you ask the next person. So it's like I'm going around in circles. Nobody can give me an answer as to where I can get the warrant. Saturday evening, the warrant list came out. Who's looking for a Saturday evening? Nobody. You're not even home Saturday evening. So you sent a 95-page warrant list for me to review over the Easter holiday weekend when you're spending with your family. Again, you can't approve things that you don't know what you're spending. Me, I can speak for myself. It's gonna take me time. Before I approve anything, I need to review it. That's just how I work. Checks and balances. Now, if anybody else wants to take it and say, hey, let's roll with it, I don't roll like that. I need to review what I'm paying for. Hey, and if everything's cool, go ahead and pay for it. But I will not pay for anything.
Can I be recognized?
All right, go ahead, trustee.
Okay, this item has been actually one of the items that was listed in one of the lawsuits that the trustees approved within the previous 2 weeks. There's obvious disagreement on this. I want a motion that we table these agenda items pending the results of the litigation.
Okay.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Now let me get my plan. One, a couple things that you guys said that's false, and I want to put it on for the record. Number one, you guys approved the floors here at Village Hall at a board meeting. Number two, if you guys will show up to the board meetings like you're supposed to do, you will have your complete package, which you get every single board meeting. But when you guys want to go and host your own meeting, you guys can put your own package together. Residents, they have the same access that I have, which is my viewpoint. That means every vendor, every bill, anything we pay out, or anybody that turns in an invoice is on my viewpoint. Because when I became here, I wanted everything to be transparent, and I wanted them to have access to what I have access to. So I had them come in, do a training, and learn how to utilize my viewpoint. So now they will have the invoices and the things they're claiming they do not have, and they have at their fingertips. All they have to do is read or come in and learn how to utilize it, and that way they will know how to navigate through the system. I think that's what the issue is on us now understanding that you have what I have. And if you want the report, all you have to do is print. That's it. You have the same report that we get every single board meeting. Next, you guys in the jury board meeting for February 7th, because you just stated you approved one set of the bills, but you didn't approve the other two sets of the bills. You guys could approve the other two sets of the bills because you had access to it. I want the residents to know that they have what I have. And I keep repeating that because I'm tired of everybody thing for anyone. And you can actually print it yourself or view it yourself because it's at your fingertips on your phone or your iPad. I just want people to understand where we're going, where we come from, and why we going back and forth. People are putting in lawsuits, which is wasting taxpayer dollars for things that they know is going on here at the Village of Dolton. As relates to paying bills, it is legal. I can pay bills. I don't know why they think I cannot pay bills. When you become the CEO, you are the signer on the bank account here in the Village of Dolton. And as I stated before, bills will get paid regardless of the discord amongst us. We have to still live in our day-to-day operation. It has to still stand of the infighting, and that's what we have done. So, with that being said, there's a motion and second on the floor. Can you call the word, Clerk?
Can I be represented, man?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, I was listening to the statement about what on the agenda, and I'm gonna piggyback from, and I do have to say for the record that so many agenda items, as you were with a trustee, was not put on the agenda. I want to state that for the record. Second, we, as African American people, have to work together. There's an office in this building, and the residents, the table down, get around that table and get on the same page. We cannot study, look at black dirt and not grow no grass.
Amen.
And the only way you're gonna do that is have faith, prayer, get around this table, come together, go dot by dot, line by line, look at these items, discuss this among ourselves in-house, then come out to the residents. You know, this village is one that I have seen workers working here under stress. Whether you're gonna be fired next day or the next week, no one person should control nobody's job in this village. And I think that this last administration, I sat and I watched certain individuals working in certain department terminated for nothing because you want to control what they do. And if they're not doing their job, and certain individuals that was in the water department, even two of them had to leave the state of Illinois because an investigation is going on because they did not want to do anything illegal. Certain that was working in this office here, certain people standing over them every day and they can't do their job. That's harassment. That is harassment. People need to come to work knowing that when people walk in here and somebody walks in their office, and then somebody walks out, and then there's somebody come in questioning them, what did he want? What did he say? That's not operating this village. That's not citizens here to wonder if they come in, well, what did that resident really want? What that resident really want is private, who they talking to. The workers here, whether they in the public work, whether they're here in the village, need to be working with no harassment. Nobody controls nobody. Your vote is your vote. But to understand how to grow this village, there's no other citizen and any other people. Stop pointing fingers. If we keep pointing fingers, they ain't going nowhere because that finger pointing you back in the mirror. We have to, taxpayers, they pay us. They don't pay to see, and I'm not talking about anybody, they don't pay to see the bickering and the fighting. This is why we can't move forward. Not working together. I mean, they can hate me, but I'm gonna still say what I gotta say. But we gotta get around the table and work. That's it. We gotta get around the table and compromise. There's no big eyes and no little U's. And you know, yeah, sir, I ran on Riders ticket, but mama ain't raised no food. When I see something wrong and something illegal, I'm not gonna stand for it. I love everybody that was on administration and the trustees when I ran. But when wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong. I'm not standing there. I would turn the cheek and do something else. And when I see this man, if there's something wrong, I'll sit back and talk with her about it. But you're not gonna control me. Tell me who to talk to. Tell me who not to take pictures with. I'm a grown man. You're not gonna control me. The people voted for me. It's not for you to tell me who to talk to, who not to talk to. I'm gonna talk to everybody. So you pull me away from you. But in the long run, I got a list of everything. I've seen the wrongdoing. I got credit card numbers from the past. So don't play. I'm not gonna repeat the investigation. But I'm gonna stand for what's right and I'm gonna stand for the people. Now, if you see fit, and that's anybody, when anything has been wrong with this administration, then put it out there, put it on paper, let the investigation roll. But so far, I don't see anything. The only thing I see is us as people not working together with each other. Let's go, and let's keep going. Because when you close one door, 3 or 4 open. So let's stop finger pointing. Love you all, but we need to get together, get around this table, and get this ball rolling. If it's a dream, let's keep it going with a dream. I'm done.
All right. Mayor, can I be recognized? I just have one thing to say. Again, to piggyback off Trustee Holmes' comment. Things are still wrong. They ain't fixed yet. Come in here. Talk to a couple of people. You can't talk to them. They can't talk back to you. Retaliation is still here. Fearful of talking to a trustee is still here. I got people that can't talk to me right now for fear. I know what's going on, and they do too. So let's stop hiding. Let's stop throwing a brick and half behind the wall. Let's keep it real. It's still going on today, right now. I come in here, you can't say anything to me. I feel it. I know it. I worked in HR for over 30 years, an HR specialist. So I know it when I come in here. They can't talk to me for fear of their job. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Ask the people. Start an investigation. You'll find out the same crap is still going on today. So if you want to get this together, you're right. Let's sit all around the table. Get your people to talk. Have them sign a statement. They will not be retaliated against, and you'll find out the truth. Crap is still going on today. So people, don't be fooled. It's right here today. Thank you.
All right. I think we did was enough. I would like to say that's untrue, and I would say that they're fearful of the trustees coming and getting in the day-to-day operations. So that's something else. So if you're gonna write up orders, anybody, please do your homework, get the facts, get both sides of the story, and don't write things where it's just one-sided. Because it's a lot of untrue articles out there because you guys just have one side of the story. Can you call the roll as relates to the table?
Okay, we're tabling this item pending litigation, is that correct?
Yeah, that was your motion, right, trustee?
That's correct.
Okay,
You have a second by trustee.
trustee Brown? Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
All right, let's take it on top.
Motion passed.
All right, next on the agenda, the approval of the CDBG sub-recipient agreement. Where is he? Oh, there you go, Ron Smith, you have the floor.
Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, department heads, and residents from the village of Dolton. I'm Ron Smith with Robinson Engineering. Right now, in your board packet, what you have is a subrecipient agreement from Cook County, and that's with regards to a water main relocation. The village is receiving $300,000 to relocate a water main that is impeding the $43 million Create project, where there is going to be a realignment of the existing railroad tracks behind Old Village Hall by Indiana Avenue and 138, and also by Park Avenue. As part of this project, it will increase the railroad speed. It will also enhance safety, and it'll be more pedestrian friendly at that crossing. The project for the railroad track realignment is slated for September of 2022. So this water main is kind of that's preventing that project to move forward. So with the trustees' blessing to approve the subrecipient agreement, these documents can be submitted back to the county, and then we can go out to bid for this project. Again, this is $300,000 worth of funding that the village is receiving from the county to relocate the existing 16-inch water main that's impeding the Create project. And I will entertain any questions that the board may have at this time.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
I'll say.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions for Ron? Hearing none, can you call the roll? Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Trustee Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of block by block program. Basically, I'm gonna give you guys a whole overview of why this is on the agenda. Now, everybody that know me know that as a trustee, I initiated block by block. When I started it, I advocated from the residents to see their opinion, and you guys actually helped me write the outline for block by block. So that entails houses for $1 and houses for $5,000. The dollar houses is for the investors, and I get this question all the time. Why is the investor houses $1 and why is the $5,000 for the residents? So let me explain. The dollar houses are the homes that's messed up. Have a family of raccoons living in it, holes in the roof, carpet missing out of it, or you have to dump literally $50,000 to $100,000 into that property. That's why it's geared towards investors. And as it relates to $5,000, the $5,000 one is for residents. People that I feel work day to day, people that I know once you get income tax, you can afford to fix up the property. And it's cosmetic, meaning flooring, paint, things of that nature that I know you can fix up. I've tried to put this on the agenda several times for board approval, and I would like the board to support me in creating block by block and starting somewhere. Because right now, we still have a list of vacant properties throughout, and nothing has as it relates to putting them back on the tax roll. So, Board of Trustees, I'm asking for your support once again to initiate this program, and let's start somewhere. Can I have a motion to approve block by block?
A motion.
Is there a second?
I would like to discuss it, so I'll second.
It's been motioned and second. Go ahead, discussion.
May I be recognized there?
Yes.
I'm supporting this because I believe that residents who want to own property and start need to have this opportunity to do it. It costs so much for them, when they're going out to get property. These may be first homeowners, and I'm on board with them. If they're starting out and want to own their property, they may have a family. They may have someone in their family that can do the construction work there that can save them. So any opportunity that we have here should be first to the residents.
Yes, I agree. Anybody else?
I would have my comment there from here. Some time ago, I think block by block, as the mayor mentioned, is in outline form, is a great concept. I thought it was when it first came up, and I believe it still is today. My challenges and why I have not voted on it before remain the same today as they did before, and I would like to see this program come to its fruition. In my mind, if it's not on paper, it doesn't exist, and there's a lot of details about this program that we discussed that are not on paper. And I'm saying that I have in front of me the ordinance, and the ordinance is 7 pages. Home rule community. It's true, and I agree with that for 7. The last page is the 1-page outline that we're discussing. If I were to look at it, some of the questions that came up is there a budget for this? Because it's gonna cost us money to acquire houses, to get insurance for our houses, to sell the houses, and all of those things. But in this documentation so far, there's not a budget for it. See this program from start to finish. A lot of the employees are already at their capacity for a workload. And so somebody has to come in. Are we gonna add that to somebody else's responsibilities? Or are we gonna hire somebody else? And if we're gonna hire somebody else, that too would come into the budget. For the lottery program, how do we make sure that we have a fair system? What does that lottery program look like? So that way, when the residents come in, we know they're pulling out of a hat. They're gonna do that. All of those things can be discussed. How do we make sure we get our residents do individuals who receive the houses do not manipulate the system to make sure that they get it and then buy and flip it when it's intended for homeowners? all of those safeguards should be in place, and I know that through discussion, it's been discussed, but as of today, we got one page that says it, so I'm just coming to, if we really are trying to stress, I think block by block is a great concept. It's a wonderful one that should be moved forward. But my ask in order to support it is that we get some of those details flushed out and listed on paper. So that's my comments about this thing.
All right. So just to answer some of your questions, I had this on here literally almost every single board meeting. I've asked the board of trustees to change it, fix it, add what you want, create, just develop the program. So trustee, you had the opportunity to basically implement anything that you chose. And to this day, no one has come up with any ideas or anything that they wanted to see with this program. This right now is a template. We have to start somewhere. You are not going to create the wheel without knowing where you're going. And right now, we did not vote on anything to say we can do process. So why would I go waste this ton of money putting together a whole different agenda when the board is not even supporting me on step one? But yet this board voted for the land bank and they didn't even have a piece of paper, let alone a contract that you voted for. Just voted for the land bank to come in. So what I'm asking now today, again, is for this board to support me in basically starting the process of getting the properties on the tax roll. Yet to the foundation. But right now, I want the residents to know that you do support this program. So I'm asking again, Board of Trustees, can you support me in this initiative?
Can I be recognized?
Yes.
I think, like you said, you've been hitting this for a long time. And I think you've been a mayor now for, I think, 8-9 months, almost a year. You got to buy. So you put more feet to your program. Get more feet on your program and give it back to us. Also, all we're asking you to do, we just don't know what's the initial cost, what's the lawyer fees, what's the insurance fees, what's the upkeep. Then it's giving. This is the same thing I was telling the trustee. Put something to it. No, you present it to us. Land bank has been proven. They're in different communities doing it, and they have a whole structure to do it. So all I'm saying is that if you want us to put, I say, let's push the housing committee, and let's put feet on it. Since this administration is not going to put no feet to it, let us put the feet to it. Since we've been waiting on you to do it, and it's not going to be done, you keep putting it on us, even though this is your program that you've been harping for the last how many years. This is the most you got, farthest you got in the last 5 years you've been pushing this. And that's the best you can do is just that one piece of paper, and it keeps putting on us. Blame us. That's awful. That take it to committee because obviously you're not going to do it. We'll put the.
Okay, so it's a funny, it's like double talking. First you said, Nick, I need to just do it, then you say, kick it to the trustees, you do. I done gave you guys several opportunities to add your input. When I had the trustees, as you can include them, he wants me to just write the book. But when I write the book, then you say the mayor is the dictator. Won't let us get our opinion in. So it's like, which one do you want to have your cake either two? So with that being said, I'm asking you guys for your input. I've asked for it several times, and it came up on the floor several times. Residents, you can go back and look at any board meeting as it relates to block by block, and you will see how passionate I am about getting rid of the vacant properties and the squatters in our community. Yet the board still have not supported me. Again, it's up before you again, and I'm asking them to support the initial cost, which is $100,000, which is in the budget, trustee. If you read the budget, it said $100,000 is allocated for block by block, which is basically remodeling homes, going out the homes, things of that nature. It's a line item for that. So again, trustee, I'm asking you guys to support the initial backing of block by block, basically putting it on the tax roll. Excuse me.
Yeah, can I be recognized?
Let me give it to the attorney. Okay. Attorney is how you have to vote.
I am sorry that I was late this evening. I was at a family event in Wisconsin that I couldn't get out. I apologize. So, Trustee Steve, I think he, oh, okay. Ordinance, which is on page 4 in front of us today. The village shall develop rules and guidelines for the promotion of a program not inconsistent with this ordinance or constraints of applicable law. The program rules will be brought to the corporate authorities for approval and shall, after approval, be subject to review and revision as applicable to track any changes in applicable law. So this ordinance contemplates that rules are brought to the board and the corporate authorities. So I think the approval here tonight is that we want to go forward with the program, and then we can put a contingency on the motion for approval that says that these are the rules, and within this many days, the rules will be proposed to the corporate authorities for approval or rejection, and then we go on for a second step. But I think tonight's approval is just a preliminary step to begin the process to enhance the homeownership protocols for the people of the village of Dolton.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
So you say pass the ordinance. We can pass the ordinance that she will follow, that the administration will follow, that you're telling me? Because we ordinances that this administration is not following at all. The one ordinance that she voted for was the $1,500 spending limit without board approval. That's not being followed. Hire and fire has to come before the board of approval, before the board for approval. That's not being hired. So what trust do we have if you say and do this, and this administration just saying, I don't care, we're not going to do that. I don't care if y'all wrote the ordinance. I don't care if you pass a law. We're not going to follow it. So what trust do I have in you saying, we put the ordinance in place and follow it, when they're not following ordinances that we vote on the books right now?
Trustee, do you mind if I respond? It is not mine to say you should. That it's not mine to make policy. This board's job to make policy. The trustees are here to vote on proposition that's brought before the staff, or through the staff. It's mine to tell you what's in the law and what's not in the law. Now, in this case, I just want you to know that there is a program rules protocol that's set up. On the other ordinances, I haven't, I'm not addressing that here today because the motion's with regards to the proposed ordinance, an ordinance authorizing the sale of certain real estate owned by the village of Dolton and the establishment of a block-by-block program for the neighborhood revitalization for the village of Dolton. So again, it's not an attorney's job to make policy. It's this board's job to make policy or to shape policy as voted on and brought before the village administration or through the village administration. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, so we make the ordinances and laws, and the administration has to follow the ordinances and laws.
Everyone in the village has to follow the ordinances and laws.
So what do you do when it's not happening?
Trustee, if we could stick to the agenda items such as block by block. Okay, right, but I think he answered, so we're not beating a dead horse. Is there anything else you have that relates to?
I wanted to speak.
Yes, go ahead, trustee.
I know we spoke about if anybody else wanted to bring a program to the village. I had a young man that Sandra Wells spoke to from the neighborhood housing that wanted to sit down with the board, create a program, housing program. Well, the first step in the process was for him to reach out to the village administrator, which he did via email and phone. Well, we never got anywhere because he never responded back to the young man who wants to sit down and put a program together. So again, you say bring things forward, you bring them forward, but we don't get a response. So this is someone who I spoke with, say, hey, can you come in, sit down with us? Let's put a plan together where everybody come in and work together. Well, the first step in the process never got moved on. So again, you ask us to bring our ideas, I bring them, but I'm not getting a response on.
Okay, well, I don't know anything about you not getting a response or creating a program, but what I do know is that the board of trustees have complete control on committees. So if you guys was really serious about putting the vacant properties back on the tax roll, you guys could have done it at any moment by just hosting a housing committee meeting. When I became mayor, I made sure that we all was a part of that particular committee, because I knew everybody up here was passionate about putting the properties back on the tax roll. But the minute I come up with a plan, no one wanted to actually execute that plan. It's all talks, but no one's doing anything about the vacant property that we get calls on daily. All I'm asking is the Board of Trustees to support my movement with the block by block. I think the residents want it. Residents, y'all want block by block?
Yeah.
So if they tell me they want it, how would we initiate the movement and start somewhere? Because right now, we're not doing anything. The vacant properties are just still there. We are not being squatters. And we got to do something. Another issue, I brought up no cash bids, which the county does scavenger sale. And what that entails is we could have went and got these properties for free by just going to the scavenger sale and get a no cash bid. That would have gave us the opportunity to take all the vacant properties and put it under the village. Now we would have had an inventory of property to give to the people. Y'all keep asking me how I'm gonna do this. I keep telling y'all my plan, my vision, what I would like to do, and I would like my board, and no, y'all like when I say mine, the Board of Trustees to buy into the vision that I do have for the village of Dolton. But I cannot do it alone. I need you guys' help. I've said that several times, but that's why I keep putting it up on the agenda. If I could do this alone, it would have been done a long time ago. But right now, I need board approval to go after the vacant properties and actually put them on the tax roll. So again, I'm asking the Board of Trustees, let's start somewhere. Let's initiate this program at least. Now, if you guys have another plan or come up with another concept, we can always add on. But you can at least start this program. You could have started with 5 houses, anything, just to see if it worked. But you guys don't even want to start. I'm an entrepreneur by trade. I'm always a doer. I go and do the things that people wouldn't do. And that's what makes me great. So I'm asking you guys if you just try and see if it will go through, or see my vision come to life. I would truly, truly appreciate the support.
Okay, Mayor, again, I just want to reiterate back to as a municipality. And that's why I wanted to bring the plan so everybody can sit down and bring their thoughts to the table and let's draw up a plan. But I wasn't given that opportunity because he did not respond back. You gotta follow the chain of command. And the chain of command is to go through the village administrator first, and then you trickle down to the trustees and the mayor. Well, we never got a chance to do that. So again, I'm asking if we can give this guy an opportunity. I want the same thing that you want, to see these vacant houses back on the tax roll, to see them rehab, looking good back in the neighborhood, to bring Dolton back to where it used to be. But again, it's our plan. It's not my plan, it's not your plan, it's not their plan. It's our plan. We're all in this together. So if the village administrator can be so kind as to reach out to that young man, hey, let's set up a meeting and then go from there. But this is our plan. This is our village. We want to see it back to where it used to be. It's not all about me. It's all of us together as one.
Okay, so this is where I think a lot of people get misconstrued as it relates to government. When I run for mayor and people run on my ticket, it's the mayor's vision. That's what the community buys into, the mayor's vision, and so do her team. When I say my vision, I gotta speak from the heart of the mayor, and what my vision is to move the village forward. Now, as it relates to all, when I just spoke of you guys as being included for several months, and I've been putting it on the agenda so that we can do it together, you guys still didn't bring anything to the table. I've been asking, and no one come with any ideas, any plans, nothing. Because I want it to be a group thing. And not only that, that's why I made everybody on the committee. You guys saw fit to remove myself from picking committees for everybody when everybody got exactly what they wanted up here. I didn't leave anyone left out. Whereas when I was a trustee, since we're going down memory lane, I didn't have one committee when I sat up here on this board, but I still did the will of the people. When I became mayor, I left nobody out. I made sure every trustee got what they wanted, especially Ed Steves, who's over Public Works, who did nothing with it back then. But thank God under my So what I want to do, once again, I don't have a problem with the gentleman that you're speaking of. And if you're saying that you want to reach out to them, trustee Dorsey, y'all finally having a, housing meeting. When y'all took it, I'm shocked y'all haven't had one for 8 months. But thank God y'all having one, then maybe you guys should let it through that. What I'm asking for is approval today for block by block, so I can at least start with that program until you guys get what you want under control. Because right now, you don't have an idea what y'all want to do. So I'm asking you guys to follow my lead with block by block, and let's initiate that right now, today.
Mayor, so you and I, we did speak regarding this program. And my concern is, as other trustees are saying, it's incomplete. As a realtor, I know that there's way more factors that we have to consider than this one sheet. As I said it to you, in regards to the investment portion of it, I told you my thoughts, and I know you said that you take them back and you make appropriate changes, but I just think that it's the best way to go about this, because as Trustee House stated, it's a good program. I just feel as if we should have more information, because I voted on things as trustee that the information what you brought to us in regards to the housing. You brought the housing to us, you brought us a plan that wasn't all the way completed, and I voted on it. But after I voted on it, you made changes to it, and residents were calling me saying, hey, what changes were made? And I wasn't even privy to the information. So when the attorney states, hey, well, there's an ordinance in place and everyone will follow them, that'll be great. But the truth of the matter is that's not what's happening at the moment. So, but if we send it to committee, to the housing committee, I stated to you that there will be a meeting on this Thursday at 6:30. And I know you've been wondering what we've been working on for the last month or two. I've been speaking with Trustee Brown, who is also a member of the committee, and she's been trying to bring the guy who she was referring to, Sandra Wells, to the administrator. So I know she wants to follow the proper protocol and see if there were alternative programs that we can implement. So we can have several different options when we do have this meeting on this Thursday. But if we send it to housing committee, we all can make our suggestions, or we all can complete the program, and then maybe we'll be able to vote on it on a completed program. And then in regards to the land bank, we've had the land bank before. Neighboring communities have used the land bank. We've even profited off the land bank before with the Taco Bell. When we had the land bank, we purchased the Taco Bell and the village was compensated. So that actually helped the residents and helped our village. So when we say there are other alternatives in regards to programs, and they specialize. That's what the land bank do. They specialize in it. And once we do give them permission to move forward with the program, we're able to work things out so that we can be compensated and so that the properties are still occupied. So when you know, I know the concern is occupying the vacancies, that's all of our concern. But I would like to use someone who specializes in it so that once the property, so we're not liable for the property. That's a big thing also. Insurances, as long as we have these homes, we're responsible for them. So if something happens while we're responsible for them, the village is sued. Whereas if we give it to the land bank, someone who specializes in something like this, they're responsible. Now it shifts the responsibility of the village into someone who actually specializes in this sort of thing. So I'm not against the blah, blah, blah program, but I do think as the housing chair, you should send it to committee so that we can make the appropriate changes so that we are comfortable with everything that's detailed prior to us making a vote on it. So again, that's my stance on it. We're having a housing committee meeting on Thursday at 6:30. Please, residents, feel free to bring your suggestions, your concerns. I do believe in transparency, so I am willing to have a program and to use alternative programs. So we'll bring the land bank on. The board has already approved the land bank. We're moving forward on Thursday. And again, we can have alternative programs. Feel free to bring the ideas to housing committee. Let's discuss it. But let's just do what's best for the people in regards to our next move about housing. Thank you.
I mean, people are
All
listening.
right, so why it sounds as though you guys don't want to do my program because air can't go. You know, y'all saying but everybody don't have any type of stuff with the vacant property. I don't think it's fair to the residents. I don't think it's fair that you guys keep belaboring the movement to get the vacant property back on the tax roll. I think we should do something now. I don't think that we should move anything to housing committee. Because if you guys truly wanted to do something about it, y'all had over 8 months to actually put a plan together. But yet when I put a plan together, everybody has to go against that plan. And as the attorney just stated to you, he told you guys this is a template. This is the start of block by block. And then from there, you put in what you want. But no one's hearing that. Everyone wants to not do anything. And I think you guys should do something today as it relates to block by block. At least vote to start it. That's what I'm asking. Any other discussion? All right, there's a motion and a second on the floor to approve, block by block. Let's call roll, please.
Trustee Brown? No. Trustee House?
I think it was great passion. I would love to see it put on paper and then I could reconsider, but at this time, no.
Trustee Norwood?
I think that we can't consider at one point, we can send it to housing committee at this time, no.
Trustee Steve?
No.
Trustee Holmes?
Yes.
All right. Much. And for the record, residents, you see what just happened here. This is the issue that we have in our community. People want to move at their pace, and right now, I actually do move as relates to getting you guys is what you need and deserve. No one deserves to live next to a vacant house. No one deserves to live to a house that becomes squatters. And I got a ton of those complaints in our community, and I feel bound for this day to do something about it. I am working on different alternatives to make sure we do what we're supposed to do. So next on the agenda, discussion of Village of Dolton Facebook policy and restricting comments. Trustee House.
Okay, this is just a discussion on a brief. I have a question. Some months ago, it was brought to my attention by some residents, I believe some of them are present, that they were being blocked in comments on social media for them trying to give their input or feedback. They were not allowed to access it. So I want to ask, I'm not sure if that's village administrator. When I did ask, it was kicked to our attorney. So I just want to ask. Yeah, I got an email that said they were sending it to people. So my question is, what is the policy? Are people being blocked? Are people unable to comment? And what's the criteria for that? So that way the community will know. That's just a general question for whoever may be able to answer. That's just a general question for whoever may be able to answer.
Okay, so for the record, no one's being blocked from social media or restricted, as it relates to comments. I don't even understand why we're discussing Facebook. I care about real life stuff, that's what I care about. But you guys thought it was okay. On the agenda, but we got bigger things to do. That is the comment as relates to Facebook. I rarely go on Facebook. I don't even have time to deal with Facebook. It's basically a show. It's fake accounts. It's people bullying people. I'm not into none of that. I'm into progress and moving our village forward and talking about the real business at the end for the village of Dolton. And I never stop stressing on block by block. And I just want to point out how we just got off a big topic of block by block. And the trustee said no to it. But what we care about is the Facebook policy. Comments. I think people need to get their priorities in order. Because I know I got mine. So.
May I be recognized? This leadership really, it's really inspirational. When I was in leader, you have to look at, there can be major lawsuits in villages restricting Facebook comments. That's reality. There's actually companies who do that. So you have to pay attention. It's just my input.
Right. But we're not doing anything like that. I know people accuse us of some things going on. We don't have time for that, in all honesty. So people need to sue, or whatever they're gonna do, it. Guess what, when you are a municipality, anything, first thing come out of everybody's mouth, lawsuit. But we're not blocking anyone, because we don't have time to deal with the minute things. But, trustee, did that answer your question? As well as restricted comment, not one question.
You answered my question. I'll say that was questions that residents sent to him and sent via email. If you know to respond to would not be in this meeting. So
That you believe things like that is stuff that we can discuss off record, because right now just took a moment of our time and the actual board meeting, trying to get busy taking care of. That's it. All right, moving on. Discussion on Village of Dolton overdue for your items. Trustee House.
actually, I believe this will.
Okay, so next is appointment of new FOIA officer. That's myself and Attorney Bazali. Basically, I'm going to appoint a FOIA officer, because right now, there's a ton of FOIAs coming in to the Village of Dolton, and we need everybody to keep up with the FOIA process. Employees are overwhelmed because it has to go to the FOIA officer, and then from the FOIA officer to the department heads. And right now, we are behind, and by being behind, meaning we ask for an extension, so what you can do. So I just want people to know what's going on, and currently right now, that FOIA officer will be, Medina Neely, the FOIA officer.
Mayor, may I speak? Good evening, residents. As the village clerk, I am the FOIA officer. I was designated by the staff. I let you guys how the FOIA process works in this village. When any of you submit a FOIA request, it comes to my office. Because I do not maintain the records of all the departments within this village, I send those requests to whatever department that FOIA request is for. They had 5 days, but actually less than that, to respond to me so that I can respond to the requester. Currently, that's not happening. When I send FOIA requests to departments, they are not returning them. So, not to reply to them. I'm doing my job. I'm not receiving the information that I am requesting. As the FOIA officer, the mayor cannot appoint someone else to take my job. I am the village FOIA officer. I am certified by the Attorney General. Not only am I certified, my deputy is certified to conduct the FOIA process. We cannot do our job if the departments aren't providing us with the items that we. Many of you know, since I've been in office, an electronic device so that we can capture and track all the FOIAs that come into the village, so that we will know when they come in, who they were sent to, and that we get them back in a timely manner. I have a report here tonight through the electronic system that I brought into the village. It has shown 63. Past due, because I refuse to respond to them. It is because I'm not being provided the answers. Do you appoint someone else because you're not receiving the information? Why would you appoint someone else? Are people only responding to certain people? As the elected village clerk, I am responsible for FOIAs. Currently, lawsuits are being thrown around. I'm being complained. Complaints are going to the Attorney General's office. They're not going on the mayor. They're not going on anyone else. It's me, and I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job in accordance with the FOIA. And when I ask staff, why aren't you returning FOIAs? They're telling me I'm being told not to. I even have documentation to prove
that they're being told not to respond. So when you talk about taking my duties, no one's talked about taking your duties. But when you talk about taking my duties, that's a problem when I'm doing my job. Because the mail is not being routed to my office so you guys need to know the truth. You elected me to come in here and do a job. I'm committed to doing this job, but the village has to work with me. You have to work with me, you have to work with my dad. I would never intentionally withhold information from anyone who requested within this village, within any community business, as well as the people who come in here and request information. I would never intentionally withhold information because I took an oath to be transparent, and that's what I am.
All right. So, basically,
And I'm sorry, I just like you guys to see. I have 2 certifications here from the Attorney General. One for Allison Key and one for my deputy, Eris Montgomery. We are certified. You just out so they don't know what they're doing.
okay, so that's her side, now here's my side.
That's the truth.
The clerk isn't doing her job. The clerk barely comes to work. You can come in Village Hall, you won't see her. When I say, Mary Kay, I miss you, I miss you. She do not work the hours she's supposed to. Blame when the heat. Not give you what you're seeing. But when you just sit up here and say that they did not, my staff know better. They know to give everything as it relates to a FOIA out right away. Because at the end of the day, they have to uphold the law.
May I respond?
Okay, one second. The other issue I have, Mayor, I take a lot of heat for every and anything that goes on in the village. With the board. I'm not taking any heat for the clerk as it relates to any FOIA, because we do have emails as it relates to things that we turn in to the clerk to make sure she gets it out. But if she comes to work, it will get out in the mail to you like it should. And it has not been because the clerk has been absent. So I want the facts on the record, this is all for the record, clerk, that we do our part as it relates to my department heads. So I just want that to be known.
I did, may I say?
Yeah, let me get a floor in the record.
Okay, sure.
Okay, attorney,
Sure, and then just for the edification of the board. I'm reading from section 3.5 of the Freedom of Information Act, which reads, each public body shall designate one or more official Again, the public body shall designate to act as its Freedom of Information officer or officers. So there can be multiple FOIA officers. The clerk does have her certification, and I believe that the deputy clerk also has a certification. Is that correct? Now, again, to the issue of appointments, I am reading from section 5-3 or /3.1 30-5A. The mayor or the president, as the case may be, by and with the advice and consent of the city council or the board of trustees, subsection 11, may appoint, subsection 11, other officers necessary to carry into effect the powers conferred upon municipalities. So the proposition here tonight was to appoint someone in addition to serve as the Freedom of Information officer. And then again, reading from the statute, each public body shall designate one or more of officials or employees to act as its Freedom of Information officer or officers.
Are you loving her?
Unfortunately, the mayor want me to be an employee. I am not a full-time employee here. That's why I have a deputy clerk who's a full-time employee. She's here every day. I'm here more than what she say. I also work from my home because I've set up devices where I can work from home. In regards to me just simply not answering employers, I can't believe that she's sitting here saying here. She don't know what goes on in my office. She's never come to my office to inquire about anything. So when I realized that administrator, I said, look, I'm receiving the information that I should receive to respond to these employers. And I'd like to see whatever documentation she has that shows that I don't do my job. The VA village administrator told me, you know what he told me? Because I said, we're gonna be subject to lawsuits. He said, let them sue us. Do we want to spend our tax-paying dollars like this? Do we want people to sue us just because no one wants to reply to FOIAs? Did I want to sue her? No. I just simply want to do my job. Let the staff do their job. The staff is not lying. I have documentation. And I will be willing to show it in a law of court that people to respond to my FOIAs. I am telling you how it is. I am a clerk who works round the clock. It doesn't have to be in this building because I've set up mechanism to work from my home wherever I choose to work. I keep the business done. I've had people send me emails on Saturday. I've had people send me things on Sundays, and I've responded. So to sit here and say I'm not doing my job, I am insulted. I am totally insulted because I go beyond my job. Since I've taken that office, I've put mechanisms to place to make this place run more effectively. That's why we have an electronic FOIA system to track every FOIA that come into this office, to track how long it takes those FOIAs to be completed. I made sure all the staff was trained on this system so they would not have any problems recognizing and knowing how to reply. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Not only did I make sure they were trained, but I also gave them a link so if they forgot something, they can always go back and refresh their memory on what they need to do. So yeah, staff is afraid here, but it's not because we're threatening them. That's because they're being threatened by someone else. I am friendly with every single village employee. They're not afraid of me. We can walk through these doors. So to say that I'm not doing my job, I am just totally insulted. I have documentation to prove. Show me where I have not intentionally not responded to a FOIA.
Okay.
Show that to me.
Okay, Clerk.
Show it to me. No, now you want me to wrap up because I'm telling the truth.
No, you had the floor for like 10 minutes.
Well, however long it takes.
Anything else?
However long it takes. So I don't want you, the residents of Dolton, who voted me into this position, to think that I didn't come here to do a job. I've lived here for over 30 years and I'm very passionate about this village. So why would I take a position just to walk? In fact, the mayor begged me to get on her ticket. So why would I intentionally not do my job when I have clerk's office correctly. In fact, I'm scheduled for training this week. So to be told or to be stated that I'm not doing my job, I am just totally insulted.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda.
Not voting on it?
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
was there a motion in a second? Item, I apologize.
60?
Yes.
No, there was not a motion or a second.
Were we done with comments?
Yeah, let's do a motion tonight. Is there a motion to approve, Medina Neely as the new FOIA officer? Is there a motion? Okay. All right, moving on. Someone have a motion?
Mayor, I want to make sure I'm still able for discussion. Do I have to do a
Yeah,
motion?
we'll do a discussion, then we want to go a motion on the floor, it's not even discussed. So, nobody want a motion?
I'm motion on the FOIA officer for discussion purposes. My motion.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion?
Yeah, so Mayor, I just think that, in regards to this whole, appointing someone new, I just think it's unfair. It goes back to what I was stating in the job. And I just feel as if you avoid accountability by not providing us with the information that we're entitled to as elected officials. And then instead of you providing the information that we're entitled to, you prefer to just not give us the information and then say, oh, let's just have someone else do it. It's just completely unfair. I mean, I look at how the clerk and deputy clerk have implemented new electronic systems, making it easier for the residents. I like the system. I think that anything that we can do to make it easier for the residents, that's the goal. So I just feel as if it's unfair again, how instead of you just working with your why assign someone else to do a job that you were elected to do? I just think these are the things that you do to circumvent the trustees and the clerk. These are the things you do to circumvent authority. If that's their job, let them do it. Provide them with the information that she needs so that she can reply to the FOIAs and everything will be done. We wouldn't need to appoint someone new, but that's how I feel about it, Mayor.
Okay, so, she's not doing her job. So to help her with her job, I'm appointing someone else. And I don't know if anybody understands, I told the attorney to bring the rules for what trustees do, what mayors do. I can appoint multiple people as a FOIA office. Knows this, over in Calumet City, he appointed someone else. It is not the clerk. So let's be clear. You can appoint other people for that position. So I like people to know the facts. So why everybody up here talking about whatever, the fact is I can appoint someone to that seat.
May I add something, please? I also read that section, and not only can the mayor appoint, the clerk can appoint as well. So it is not just the mayor, and I did appoint. So that is just not the sole responsibility of the mayor.
Then I said that you appointed someone.
I did.
Someone as well.
So then you have to give justification for just reappointing. Your justification is incorrect.
Okay, cool. We're not go back and forth.
We don't have to, we don't have to.
Just for the record, please.
It is for the record.
Anything else you want? All right, yep, go ahead.
Quick points. One is, we have, I know in terms of full-time, we have our deputy clerk who is here full-time, who I believe has been doing a phenomenal job. I believe Clerk Key has been doing an outstanding job. And, it goes back, I think we've been doing a lot of the back and forth. And, we really need, that's about, I keep saying, if it's not on paper, it doesn't exist. Clerk has shared with the board some further attempts to complete the FOIA process. I would love if the administration would share some of their efforts to present to the clerk's office so that we can make an informed decision. As of today, I've not received any documentation. Again, we're in here, we're having it feels like we're having basement talk right now, really. We're just in one big basement, we're talking about what's good. When you ask for paperwork, it's just not there. So at this time, I'm not in favor of appointing an additional FOIA officer.
All right. So point,
Sure. Trustee Brown? No. Trustee House?
No.
Trustee Norwood?
No.
Trustee Steve?
No.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Motion failed.
okay, moving on. Next, on the agenda, under F, termination of contract for legislative council, Otis, Clerk, Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath. Put on by Mayor Hinger. So the reason why I put this on the agenda tonight is because this attorney or this firm has been doing things the wrong way as it relates to educating their clients, which is the Board of Trustees. Now, the board took their advice and added to put on a recall for myself as me. Now, the problem I have with that is, why would you go and waste taxpayer dollars to do something so malicious when I've done nothing wrong. Now, everybody have their opinion of how they feel I should handle things here because there's a thought, but I've done nothing corrupt. I've never stolen anything. I've done nothing wrong that warrants a recall. So this attorney, I sent him to the state's attorney, the attorney general, and we have also got complaints back from the PAC. And for those that understand that is, if you have a problem with your board, you send it down to the attorney general. He then reviews it, and he comes back and tell you if it's legal or illegal. And when we got our complaints back, it stated that the board of trustees has been doing illegal things. Do you have that too? Okay, we don't have it to read, so we will email it to everybody, as relates to the PAC complaints. And basically, you cannot have separate meetings, you cannot do a lot of things that the board of trustees been doing. So I'm asking for the board of trustees to terminate the legislative council and utilize the council that and file a pursuit on that because I don't see that either attorney have done anything wrong to you or haven't given you something. All of them are accessible. All of them you can talk to or reach out. And I fired Bert Otis's law firm when I became here. So then the board of trustees turned around and rehired them as legislative counsel. So I don't like when people bring other people in to and board members, because that's what the attorney is for, to make comments or make it uncomfortable for the mayor and the fight for the trustees. So go back and forth, back and forth. That's a waste of taxpayer dollars. I don't appreciate it. I think it needs to stop. And I know that a lot of residents have asked me not to pay Bert's company for what check from the village of Dolton, because right now he have you guys doing illegal things, and I think that you guys, if you educate yourselves on, you'll see it before it's too late. So I'm asking again, you guys to terminate the contract and let's basically be one. Let's unify and say we can work together with the attorneys that we do have on staff. Any comments? Any discussion?
Well, the only thing I would like to say, and you recognize, is that this administration is giving out raises illegally, and your attorney didn't say nothing about it, and they let it go on. There's a lot of things. So up to station, right after the fact. So I mean, everybody, if that's the case, how is it that raise is given out? And the attorneys know about it after the first, it's illegal. And now, oh, it's illegal. Yeah, it is illegal. But that stuff that's happening. That's just the question I got for the attorney Casella.
Trustee, I do not know of any illegal actions that's gone on in the village.
So no raises were given out without board.
No, what you said, sir,
Illegal.
was that the attorneys knew about illegal actions that went on and then they went on. So my response to you is, I know of no illegal actions that have gone on at the village.
Raises were given out improper and illegal without board. That. So if you want to wear that's on you. We don't. How? I don't know. You tell me. How did it happen without board approval? When it's okay.
Right. Way qualified. We brought them in low because they got a raise.
No.
You upset?
No. It's the procedure to go through the board, and you didn't go through the board. That's what bothers me.
Right.
It has to go through the board. And there's certain raises and money has to be spent that has to go through the board. You demanded that as a trustee. Now it's like, oh, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm asking for the certain things that we're responsible for. Let us be responsible for. If we're responsible for the raises without board approval,
after the fact. Respect to what is the proper ammunition information to do. Don't come to after the fact and say, oh, by the way, I did do that. That's wrong. And then your attorneys were okay with that. That's all I'm saying.
That's not true. That's not true. Instead of going, one second, instead of going back and forth with you, is there anything else you'd like to add?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Next.
Because one attorney told, it's to my knowledge that that's really the question. So I guess for the attorney, one attorney told us before that all raises are supposed to come in front of the board to be approved. So we don't have a problem. Let's just clear up the narrative when you say, oh, you all have a problem with giving someone a raise. We don't. But we are, again, responsible for the resident, the taxpayers' money. We're responsible. So if a resident comes to me on the streets and they say, hey, what was paid last month, Trustee Norwood? And I say, I don't know because I wasn't getting the list. How is the resident supposed to feel? And that's the big concern, it gets frustrating when you have this narrative, even when the attorneys say, oh, well, we weren't informed. No disrespect to you, Attorney Pacelli, but we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be putting a referendum on the ballot if things were put into place to stop you from doing some of the things that are taking place illegally, such as the raises. If it's the taxpayers' money and we're responsible for it, we're supposed to be notified. Bring it across the board like we're supposed to do. Notify us. So I guess the question, is it supposed already supposed to come across the board or is it so clear?
The board can, no, I'm sorry. First of all, let me start. You asked a question or you made a statement before you asked the question. And if with your permission, trustee, I'd like to go back to co-counsel, let's say co-counsel, the village attorney, and find out some of the details about what you're asking about. Would that be okay?
Okay, well, I guess I just want to make this clear. Are you saying, is that, in regards to my question, are you saying that you want to go back to co-counsel and check about the raise? Or
What you said was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we're saying the same thing.
Okay.
So what you said was you spoke to an attorney, obviously that would not be me, and they said that these things need to go before the board.
When we were all present. I don't know if you were. Okay, you probably weren't present, but the attorney stated to us, you all's attorney, the mayor was present, that we are supposed to be notified. Raises are supposed to come in front of the board. We're supposed to say, okay, who is this raise being paid for? Who's the employee? We're supposed to take a look at it, and then the board is supposed to approve it before the raise is put into place. I guess I'm asking, is that the proper protocol, yes or no?
Generally, the board controls the purse.
Okay.
Okay, so let me ask an indulgence of you. Do you mind if I talk to co-counsel and get the background of this fact and we issue a written opinion on this before the next, before the next board meeting? It's hard for me to comment on a legal opinion that another attorney made without speaking to that other attorney.
Okay, let's take that attorney out of the equation, just for all the residents and for us to be clear. Are we the board? Is the board supposed to be notified, Mayor, the attorney? Is the board supposed to be notified regarding the
So
raises?
basically, he just answered your question, which he's gonna let Shantae handle it, because that's who I got y'all response from. So that's what he's saying.
Okay, I get that, but no, he said in regards to Shantae saying, I'm just asking in general, forget Shantae saying. I'm just asking, just so I know, is our raises supposed to come from the board? I know he knows that, right?
No, he's not our general counsel, that's what I said, it's Shantae Rand.
Okay,
He's just sitting in for us today. So every question that y'all have, you have to go to the actual attorney.
okay, so Ms.
Shantae,
okay, Mayor, do you?
Shantae will respond.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, is there a motion to terminate the contract for legislative council?
I motion.
It's been motion, is there a second? Y'all don't want to terminate y'all attorney? Legislative council costs us money. Something we didn't budget for, y'all just hired them. Y'all don't want to counsel. All right, motion fails. Moving on. Next on the agenda is illegal action. Termination of contract for village administrator. Trustee Brown, you have the floor.
I request that this item be brought before the board and believe executive session to be the appropriate place for the communication, since it involves an employee who alleges to be under contract. So I'm asking for executive session.
Okay, so you motion for it to go in closed session?
Yes.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
For personnel, correct?
Absolutely.
All right, there's been a motion and second. Please call.
In this room up here.
Trustee Brown,
In this room.
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Norwood,
Aye.
trustee
There's
Steve,
no room.
trustee Holmes,
No, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
motion passed.
I need my keys. I need my keys.
Madam Chair. So we have on the agenda executive session for litigation, which is Roman numeral 9A, litigation. So I do believe there's a bunch of people in the audience. Would it be the indulgence of the mayor and the board to allow the people to address, next two items would be mayor's report and citizens address. And then would it be okay if we went into closed session for both items after the people were allowed to talk, the mayor gave her address and whatnot? Then you want to make a motion now to go in also for litigation, because you have to, as you all know, in the open meetings, you have to give the reason as to why you're going into closed session.
Okay, so is there a motion to go in closed session for the approval of settlement distribution for TIF redevelopment for 300 West Sibley Economic Development, contingent of full dismissal of lawsuit? It's in this litigation. Is there a motion?
So, I just want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, so attorney, correct me if I'm saying this properly. I motion that we move item G to go with litigation for an executive session after citizens address.
Sure, and the motion is to go into, yes, the closed session for litigation matters after items, I guess that'd be 7 and 8, and at the same time as your personnel motion for closed session.
What do you say?
Thank you, trustee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, can we call the roll?
Trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Norwood,
Aye.
trustee Steve.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right. All right, so we got one last letter H on this agenda. So basically, on H, I'm asking for consideration and approval of a resolution rescinding, revoking, canceling, and repealing the approved resolution on December 8th of 2021. And I'm gonna explain to you what's going on with that. Okay, so I added this onto the agenda because currently now, the Board of Trustees is seeking to recall my seat here in the village of Dolton. Again, I will state for the record, I have not done anything wrong. I have not stolen anything or did anything that warrants a recall. Now, I ask the Board of Trustees, if you want to recall someone, add yourselves to this recall. Don't just pretend, add yourselves to the recall. And then let's see who survives. Because I did not get elected by 5 individuals. I got elected by 82% of the community, the people put me here. And how dare you guys sit here and make a resolution to recall my seat because you don't like me or don't agree with what I have to say is not fair. Because if that was the case, I would have did what I did best, which is hit the street and got 800 signatures to put 3 referendum questions on the ballot in 2 days. So if that don't tell you that the people got a love for their mayor, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm asking you guys to repeal this ordinance / resolution. And basically, let's start over. Because at the end of the day, I feel united we stand, divided we fall. And right now, we have to set the presence for the village of Dolton. And as your mayor, and I have made history, and how dare you guys try to tarnish that by me being the first African-American female to actually sit in this seat. just don't appreciate all the slander and things that I go through just to say I want to be a servant for the people. It's not fair, it's not right, it's not warranted, and if it was a man, which it was all before me, they didn't get half the scrutiny I get now in the village of Dolton. So I'm asking again for you guys to reconsider your position as it relates to this recall, because again, I've done nothing wrong right now. I just have a matter of opinion of how I run the day-to-day operation. Now, if it was smart, I could have wished that two of the trustees, was three that been on this board, Ed Steves, Jason House, Tammy Brown, would have done the same thing when the residents crying out when Riley sat in this chair. No one stood up for the people then. Y'all didn't try to. But yet, you see fit to recall someone that made history. And y'all know that I went and I took that seat. So y'all should do the same exact thing. If you want me gone, you wait your turn. You wait your 4 years. You wait for 2025 and then you come and you try to take the seat like I did with the mayor. So I'm asking again, for the 5th time, can you guys repeal this resolution? Is there a motion?
I motion.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Y'all hate me that bad, huh? That's a shame. Okay. Is there a second? Try again. Second, maybe I hear. Speaking to the mic, please. Okay. All right, so there you have it. The trustees still want to initiate the recall, but I wish there was a way that the people can speak and that the people can add the trustees to the recall. I always remember what goes around comes around. Every dog has his day. We will be victorious. I'm not worried about this. As you know, I keep elevating, I keep moving, and it's a lot of jealousy and envy amongst us, and I'm sick and tired of it, because there's no reason or no way that people sat on this board 4 years with me said nothing to the actual corruption that's going on in Dolton, or called the media out for the actual corruption that's going on in Dolton. It's a shame that we on the front page or on the news all the time due to the fact that the board of trustees don't have their right. That's a shame that you would sit here and allow us to go on social media, on each news channel about your dislike instead of facts. Let's speak facts. That's why you hear me say, please, all reporters or journalists, ask both parties. Do not just write one side. Get the facts before you write, because no one ever reaches out to the mayor and asks me my opinion on what you're writing. I do have Keith Freeman, the village administrator. You can reach him, or you can reach Nikita McGrath. Either one of them, if you cannot reach me personally when you call my cell, because I do get a lot of calls that do come through. But I am asking the people to make sure you stand with me. Stand strong. You all know that I'm a fighter, and I appreciate everybody and they love and they support for your mayor. I won't stop fighting. I can't stop, won't stop, right? Okay, so now we're going to basically have citizens address, and it's crazy how quiet everybody is up here. And nobody got nothing to say, nothing. But let's wait and see what happens. We'll do citizens address. You have 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go in closed session. Anybody want to stay afterwards, you can. Chief, we have the clock. Chief, anybody got 3 minutes?
Mayor, before we do public comment, right? I mean, I just think that it would be remiss of me, and I really hate to do the back and forth. So I was actually going to sit silent a minute, but it's disturbing when you continue to say, "I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong." It's like we met a few weeks ago. You met me 2-3 weeks ago, and you asked me why I felt as if the referendum, why I was for the referendum. You and I spoke one-on-one, and I explained to you. I said, "Hey, Mayor, is there a way for us to compromise?" You and I met sometime last year. You and I met at the restaurant. We've met at church with the pastor. We've continued to meet, and I continue to ask you. I said, "Well, Mayor, can you compromise? Can you work with the mayor?" can you compromise? And what you stated to me was, trustee, you need to know how this works. Mayors, governors, presidents, they all make the rules and everyone else just follows. And we've been back and forth ever since, when all we're asking is that you compromise and allow us to do our job. This whole narrative of us not wanting to do our job, provide us with the warning list. Give us the information that we need. If we have an ordinance to put in place, implement the ordinance. If there's checks that need to be, bills that need to be paid, bring it past the board. If there's raises that you feel need to be implemented, bring it across the board. Just allow us to do our job. That's all I want to do. I just told the residents that I'll speak up for them and that I would work for them. And that's what I'm trying to do. If I see money being spent that shouldn't be spent, it's my job to say something. I'm responsible. I'm accountable. So let's just not get it misconstrued. I don't want any other authority than the authority that I'm entitled to. These are things that I'm entitled to. If there's a payroll out there, every week I come in this office, somebody else is being hired. How is that the case if we have a hire and fire ordinance in place? Who's implementing that? So again, I just like to say, I don't mind working with you. I'll say publicly again, it's the same thing I said to you when I met with you. I don't mind compromising. I don't mind doing what's best for the people. But you have to be willing to compromise. You can't come up here with this my way or no way attitude. And that's what you do. You say, okay, well, board, if you all are not in total agreement, then I'll just find a way to get around it. You can't continue to circumvent us. Work with your board. Every good leader, and I told you this when we met a few weeks ago, in order to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. That's just it. You have to listen to us also. It's compromise. So that's my stance on that. Again, we all will have a chance. The residents will get a chance to speak. When my time is up again, they'll get a chance to vote on June the 28th. They'll get a chance to let their voices be heard. But again, in regards to why I feel that this referendum should be put in place, you refuse to compromise. You tell me one thing and then you do another. When we met a few weeks ago, you asked me, well, what do you need, Trustee Norwood? I said, well, Mayor, the warning list. When can I get the warning list? You said, I'll give it to you next week. I just got the warning list last week, a few days ago. So again, let's just be fair. Again, all we ask is for you to compromise. This wouldn't even be on the referendum if you just work with us. That's all I ask for, is that you work with us so we can work together as a team. That's it, and compromise. Thank you.
Okay, I got two statements before I start with citizen address. Basically, I think I done said enough as relates to the town hall meeting that everybody came to. Thank you for coming out and supporting. But I do believe that these trustees have been wasting taxpayer money on lawsuits and bogus recalls. Every time something go wrong or don't go their way, they run into the news with false narratives. They attacking our employees through these catfish accounts on social media. They're refusing to pay bills by not showing up to meetings. They're refusing to vote for Block by Block, a plan that will literally help community. Not one trustee, not one, except Trustee Holmes, agreed to do Block by Block, which I know y'all want to eat. I know y'all want y'all kids to live within a community that you guys have built for them. I too want that. Let me tell you what we've been doing, because everything else ain't nothing but noise. That's it. No matter how many attacks I get, I still stay the course. I still make sure I do what I'm supposed to do as mayor for the people. I implemented cleaning programs to help beautify Dolton. I've also partnered with organizations such as Chicago Urban League to bring free programs for all small business owners to help establish their business the right way so they can properly apply for funding and grants to help their businesses. So far, we've had over 150 small businesses to register for a free 6-week class. We've given away thousands of food baskets and turkeys to our residents. And I've always given away gas. Y'all know I'm known for giving away gas. Thousands of dollars worth of gas. We've also helped single parents for resources for their children, because everyone know I am a single parent, and I feel that they need resources, and a lot of times people ignore them. So I always advocate for the single parent. We've held a toy drive this past holiday season, and we gave away 2,500 toys to children of Dolton. We most recently held an Easter egg hunt this past weekend, where over 300 kids showed up to the church. Oh my God, amazing. I had nowhere to put them. I thank y'all for coming out. We met with the pastors in Dolton to organize programs to help our residents. I've also partnered with Fifth Third Bank to bring a homeowners and home buyers seminar to Dolton to educate the residents on options and opportunities regarding home ownership. I brought back employees appreciation events to increase the morale within the village. Hosted the first 4th of July fireworks display, which hasn't been done over a decade, on July 2nd of 2021. And we're doing another one this July 2nd. So y'all be prepared to come on out. We improved the new village hall which y'all are in with paint, panel, floors, desks, clerk area. We are now working on infrastructure in our community, and we are now going after grants. Dolton Police Department and I have hosted a car show, which they wanted to help bridge the gap between the community and the police department. Good job, Chief Collins and National Night Out. And I'll give it up for Chief Collins, man. He worked his butt off. And with many complaints from the residents, I plan to have a animal control unit within Dolton. And I announced this at the town hall meeting. Anybody want to play pops on Friday? I'm looking for people to make a video. I've also hosted a Stop the Violence March. Everybody knows, totally against violence. Breast cancer and domestic walks throughout our village. And I've also hosted seniors who come out to drives such as senior health fair, vaccination events, senior lunches, and bingo day. We have a ton of infrastructure projects. Tino, anything for infrastructure?
Huh?
No? Okay, we have a ton of infrastructure projects going on. One being Rebuild Illinois Street Servicing of $700,000 complete. I announced this at the town hall, so just reiterating for those that wasn't there. We paid Village Hall, Police Department, and we're currently working on Public Works. We also put new roofs throughout our community. So that is the firehouse, the police station, Village Hall, and the payment center next door, and the old Village Hall. We also are working on repaving streets throughout Dolton, sidewalk replacement, and also alleys. I know that's something that everyone complained about. So if you have an alley that's in need of repair, please apply. Please let us know so we can add you to the list. We also have the vacant houses demolition that's going on. So if it is a vacant house that's in need of tearing down, please let us know, because we're getting that list together now so we can demo houses hopefully by June. We also have economic development projects such as my restaurant row. I keep saying my restaurant row because I'm so passionate about all those restaurants coming up on Sibley at 300 West Sibley. And he's gonna put 10 sit-down restaurants there. Thank you, Bob Michaels. He's in the back there. He's the owner of 300 West Sibley. And then also the downtown area right here. I just want to give you a little memory lane right here to my left. You have the old secrets. We are going to put a sit-down upscale steakhouse right here. He sent plans over. He's working on that currently now to my left. And then across the street where the old Mr. Ricky sat, I want to do a Veterans Park there. And then if you go across the street, you got the MB Financial Bank building here. But go over one more to the right, you have the Dolton Liquors there. We want to put a sit-down, upscale, jazz, blues restaurant there with falls cut out. So these are some of the plans that we do have. And then when you go along Greenwood there, the plans we had, and we showed a video of this. We had a 3D rendering there. When you start at Melody Fitness, I would love to make that a sky zone. And then when you come a little further down, all the land along Greenwood, we want to do a skate park, a water park, a dog park, and then also a food truck pad. Y'all know me, and restaurants is just my thing. And then a pavilion so everybody can sit and have activities with their family or birthday parties, things of that nature. That is the plan going forward for the village of Dolton. So everybody talking, I'm working. So all I do is zone out the noise and make sure I do the wheel out. Everything else is a distraction. And anybody that's an entrepreneur, they know better. You know that you gotta stay the course and keep pushing. When you hear no's, you keep moving until you find that yes. A lot of great people throughout the world have been told no several times until they find that yes. Now they millionaires, billionaires. It's the same concept here with the Village of Dolton. And I've given my life to make sure I can rebuild this town. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I am a single mom. So when you guys be attacking me, be like, think about what you're doing. You too have kids. You too are parents. You won't want anyone to attack you that way. I've had people run up on us. I've had people stalk us. I had death threats. I had all of the above. And people get mad about my security. We are in need of security. It's currently now employees getting threatened. And we have all this on tape, on record. I don't know if the chief got no tape, but people told us about the tape part. But he do have things going on that is really serious here in Dolton. And everybody ignoring it, but I don't like the fact that it's initiated by my board of trustees, majority of it. And it's sad because I would never attack any of them, because at the end of the day, we are Christian people. At the end of the day, we are vigilants. I tell people this all day long. You only here for the season until your time has come and gone and someone else takes that seat. So remember, don't get wrapped around titles because it comes and goes just like the season. All right, I end my report. Citizens address.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thelma Camp, and Mayor, I'm just coming to you. I know you're talking about the block by block program. That's a big program, but as a citizen and a homeowner, it's some things that we need to check off the list, like helping the residents, the water bills. They telling me I gotta read my own meter and I pay taxes. I just don't think that's right. You know, and I don't think anybody, I know you got your crew in the back, they clapping. You know, I don't even know if they wrong about it. That's right. But anyone that has a house, you know, it's certain things that you want. Do I want felons come? I got neighbors that saying, I don't want nobody from the village in my house. And when you own a home, you don't want no, we can't get top grade employees to the village. Can't we pick people that don't have a record, you know, to be in the village? But the people that I live around, they're afraid. And if I hadn't known that this village was gonna end up like it is now, I would never bought in Dolton. Never. And I think the majority of these people that's here that's got homes, who's been here 30 years. See, I'm not looking for a job. So you don't have to give me no job. I just want my services. And I feel that that's not being transparent if these guys can't vote on the budget and they don't know what they vote on. They don't know how much money is out. That just doesn't make sense. And what I'm just trying to say to you, I go into the water department, the people don't even want to help me. They scared. They scared of the trustee. They scared of me too. I said, can I get a printout of my past bills and what my water meter was? Oh, I can't do that. I can't print anything. It's just not the same anymore. We need a forensic audit because, like you say, you haven't did anything. If we get that forensic audit, it's gonna show that you didn't do nothing. And you should want to clear your name up. You should want that on you. Get a forensic audit to prove that what's being done is correct. And that's all I have to say. I just want the residents to be able to be helped in this village. And I'm passionate about it. I hate that I have my house here. I have spent too much money to live like this. And all of you guys on here, would you want to live around something like that, Chief? Would you want to live around with you not knowing that a felon is coming up in your house? You're the police. You're the top cop. You're the top cop. So that's all I have to say. And please, man, check out the little stuff. And then we can get to the block by block. Let's do the little stuff first. Check off everything Riley you said we can do what we're supposed to do. Check it off. So thank you so much, everyone.
All right, Kevin, before you start, I just make a statement that no felon goes in anyone's house that works for the Village of Dolton. So I just want to clear that up, so if anybody putting that out there and misleading the people, no one goes in anyone's property that has a background. So whoever's putting it out there, please stop. I don't want my residents to be scared or think we're doing
They are
something
afraid there. They're really
that
afraid.
we're not doing.
They are.
We're not
Because we do
allowed.
have felons in the village that's working.
It's felons everywhere, it's felons in
Yeah.
everyone's home law, just about.
And there's
The
nothing
people that
wrong with it.
got-
They gotta be put in certain places.
So basically, everybody has issues, so you have to be able to help them out, and I do truly believe in second chances in the village of Dolton. So I just want people to know that. All right, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Kevin Bourne, resident at 14338 Dante Avenue. I'm gonna take this down. I only got 3 minutes, so let me just. So, I want to get back to the block by block because that's what's important to me right now. Because I have a 20-year-old daughter that just had a baby, and I was looking forward to this program. I do recall that the block program was already on committee. At least I thought it was from previous meetings when it went to committee because they voted to take it to committee. I speak a little different because I was a part of that dream team, so I got the inside. Every time she said take it and add to it, everything that you guys were saying, that's correct. It don't have meat to it because you haven't put the meat to it yet. But all we doing is trying to get the skeleton voted on. The skeleton to get it started. You can't put meat to something if you don't start the process. No business, no anything didn't start with first an idea. Then you gotta have a draft. That's all that was. That was the draft. When you draft the draft and get that into play, then you can start building what you want to see out of it. I'm really disappointed that you all didn't vote for the block by block, but then you talking about bringing somebody else from the outside in. Why? If all these real estate people up here that got all this real estate knowledge, we got a realtor right here. Y'all can do this yourselves. We don't need somebody else to do what y'all can already do. That's what we had the last time. All this outside noise, all these outside people, when we supposed to keep stuff in-house. All 5 of y'all, 6 of y'all, when Kiana is present, all 6 of y'all, including the mayor, y'all gotta get together, put y'all heads together like Andrew said, and come up with something. Let's stop advocating for other people to do the job that y'all was elected to do. We don't need nobody else to come from the outside, because y'all can do, y'all intelligent enough to put a program together. Because if you're not, then we in some serious trouble.
Right now.
Let's make this happen. I don't know what got to happen, how it got to happen, but y'all need to make this happen. We don't need any outside influences. Because my faith and belief is in the people that we elected. And I believe in this board, I believe in this mayor. The recall, y'all need to reconsider. Meet her at 4 years when her term is up, because that's what we did with Rodney. We didn't recall him. We didn't, all the stuff, again, he made some mistakes, y'all, and y'all know it. And y'all sat there and went along with it. Again, it's unconventional how she operating, how she moving, because guess what? In a male-dominated society, she's the only female, so it's always going to be different.
3-minute mark.
President Cheryl Hill, bring in the name of the Father and the Son, to all the heads of the department, to all the new people, and I was hesitant to take my mask off. You know about free will choice. And to all the new entities and new components here in the village of Dolton, here's what I'm gonna start with. I got love for all beings. See, that's our biggest coming out. Every last one of us in this room, that's our biggest coming out. We are human beings. Then we do trickle down to titles, positions, but dissension, and when you utilize the word transparency works when you work. Accountability works when you work. Bickering never has accomplished anything. Communication. There is that thing to agree, to disagree. But the servant that you all are representing the most are these residents. Every word out of your mouth is supposed to reflect the people and everything for the people. I don't know what I'm really supposed to say, because there are times when people pick a position to decide to do something that's not conducive to the people. That's called your personal hang-up, and that word feeling has worked my human nerve right here tonight. Because we can feel about a lot of things, but when you are elected, I'm a human rights activist. You know what I love about that the most? It don't tie my hands to do exactly what an elected official is supposed to do. I can represent everybody in this building. I can mediate for everybody in this building. You all, however, you are our delegates. Some of you all are given certain jobs because you know one person can't do the job.
1 minute remaining.
The mayor is doing just like anyone before her. She is doing her best, and we all know that you get a little overlay from someone else. All I'm asking for the community to go. Black Club. Thank you, Stacy, for the trees that are gone, for the lights that are getting better, for some of the infrastructure. I've been here so long that I'm telling you, I'm gonna piggyback off particularly on the 14th. That's where I used to go to the show. Used to take my kids right across the street to the arcade. So you can look around and remember this still things here for y'all to put that meat back on that he was talking about. Utilize what we got here first. And think that ain't gonna save a lot of money? And then there are a lot of people. They shouldn't have to worry about no squatters or anything sitting next to them. But for God's sake, let y'all at least for once in this leadership, give everybody the benefit of the doubt and call it united front. Because really, I'm appreciating Kurt, I'm appreciating Chief, I'm appreciating Steph, and if ain't none of y'all got no flaws, kick me when I go out the door.
Pastor William Fleshman, 2 addresses if you want me to give them both. But the same seats that you all sit in right now was the same seat that Mayor Riley started in and worked his way up to. It's the same seat that he sat in and he had a stroke. There's a lot of sickness and disease in this room right now.
Yeah.
Y'all can't even see yourselves, but y'all faces are twisted up like you already had a stroke. I mean it. It's so much hatred. You can feel the hatred in this room, and the hatred is not just from this board and this mayor. The hatred is from some of these residents sitting in this room, and it's a sickness. And we need to rid ourselves of this sickness and this disease. I can personally say that I have met with every one of you all. I don't get paid. I don't get a dime from this village. My reputation has been ridiculed. I was just talking with Ms. Copeland the other day. The sister said she don't even like me no more. No. She said she had a problem with me. She had a problem with me. And the reason why is because I'm trying to work out things with y'all. I don't think any one of you all can say that I don't stand on no fence. I'm not with this person or with that person. I done tried to work with each one of you all to try and bring some resolution to this doggone board. And if y'all don't find in yourselves to bring some resolution to this board, shame on you, and every one of y'all need to be recalled. I'm sick of it. I almost couldn't stay in this meeting because there's so much sickness and disease in here. It was almost like it was coming all down on my body. And I'm praying for you, Sister Clerk.
1 minute remaining.
I'm praying for you, Sister Clerk, because it really seems like this is getting to you. But I want to challenge each one of you board members and the mayor. Get it together. The only reason why there's alts here is because you all get caught in your feelings. You all have such a great spirit of offense. It's like you babies, like you crying and worried about what you can and what you can't do. Forget all of that. Come together as a board, as the mayor, with the mayor. And mayor got problems too. I'm not saying she ain't got no problems. I'm not just pointing fingers at the board. I'm pointing fingers at every seat up there. Every seat. and y'all need to get it together. You wanna talk to me, my doors are open. We can go in that board and we can have it out with no problem. Because I'm tired of seeing what's going on in our communities. You know what's happening in our communities? You know who the richest folks are in our community? These doggone attorneys just keeping y'all fighting. And those are the richest ones in our community. The ones that's collecting all the money and going back to their community, wherever they live, and they don't look like us. Sick of it.
Chief, yeah.
We have order, please. Officers, can we have order, please?
It's because of y'all. It's because of the division that you all are creating. You all are creating this division. All of y'all.
Okay. Can you make sure? Tina.
Somebody check the mic.
Testing.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianna Matthews. I am a new homeowner in Dolton. So I am really, really happy to just be a part of this political engagement. I think it's amazing. I think that's one of the reasons why I moved to Dolton, because it feels like home, and I see a lot of potential. And I love how each one of you all talk about how you want to speak for the residents. The only thing I would like to encourage you all to do, that I would love to see as a resident, is for you to actually do some research on public opinion. So residents can actually have a voice that we can be transparent about. I know it's different crews in the building, right? But I want to put some numbers to those crews. I say that for a couple of reasons, right? One, because you all value residents' opinions. And then two, there's clearly some distrust amongst the board, right? So if there's distrust over here, bring it back to the people. See what we actually want. See what the numbers say. So in regards to a few things like the block by block program, let's see how many residents actually want to move forward with the program and see if we can build meat to it too, right? You all have your expertise, but we have some expertise in the building and we know what we want to see as well. So can you all vet residents' opinions in an effective, strategic, real way? Not just, hey, I talk to this person, I talk to that person. No, put some numbers to it, put some data to it so we can all see what we all want. This is not just the administration's village. We all live here. When you, like Mayor, like you said, one day your seat is going to be gone, but we're still going to be here. So I would love when we can get our voices heard and decisions, not only with the block by block, but as well as the recall. I have spoke to a couple of trustees and I told you all I would have loved to get my opinion on paper to say what I wanted to spend my tax dollars on. I was at the table with the trustees, y'all, a couple months ago, and I was talking big stuff, like, hey, my tax is not that expensive, and people were telling me, no, Dolton tax is expensive. Y'all, they are expensive. I just learned that, right? So I would love to, I'm paying some big dollars in my taxes, I would love for my voice to be heard in an effective, strategic way. And I think that we can do that, and I think that would settle a lot of things that actually provide community. So with the decisions being made, if we can have an effective way to really research public opinion, I would really appreciate it. And I'm for block for block, because I think we can do something really big with that. Thank you.
Good evening. Trustees, my name is Untitled, and this is coming up here is kind of out of my comfort zone. I kind of try to, stay low key and, watch what's going on. help how I can help. And today I was compelled to come, just share a few things. I don't want to really bash anybody, point to anybody. I've been out here in Dolton for some time before Tiffany became mayor. That's my cousin. I do part-time code enforcement here for the village of Dolton. Come out here in the evenings. One of the things that I wanted to share was that, like, how that even came about. Tiffany won, and she was out trying to help the residents. And like late in the summer, we was out going to different residents' houses, and every conversation and every complaint was about the different things in the community that people wanted to see, get addressed. And part of it was via code enforcement. So, the conversations, that came up. I came out here to help. I was out here when Jason House, when he ran through the house. I came out here, any of my people out, I wanted to be to help community. I live in Rose. Okay. I came out, hey, it's a movement happening. I want to be a part of anything positive. And so, I mean, just being with Tiffany and looking at how she responded and her heart and everything, she asked, hey, look, could I get you to come and help, some of the people in code enforcement? You have Brian, who's our media supervisor, Mario, Kim, some good people know the ropes of this stuff. They do the inspection. I just deal with, the ordinance violations and stuff like that.
1 minute remaining.
And complaints. And so I just came out here to help. And I followed Tiffany because she had a heart for the people. I used to mentor at Lincoln Elementary, help, with the families and stuff, have great stories I can share outside of this minute that I have left. But even with that, there was some things that had taken place, and I just echo what the pastor said before me, that with the maliciousness that I take, because I haven't done anything wrong to anybody in this building. And there are some people here that have done some things, put stuff on social media. I'm not even on social media. Put my address out, name and address, and putting pictures, like I hadn't done anything to anybody. And it's like just so wicked. And I told him, I said, yeah, I mean, I can let this go. I can let this go because I don't want to be a part of, I don't want to be, used for against you.
We appreciate 3 minutes more.
Okay. Used against you. And so I just say that I agree with most of the people that came before, people need to work together and, all this other stuff. I mean, stop it.
Sir, we appreciate 3 minutes
Yes,
more.
sir. Yes, sir. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
All right.
Hello, my name is Frida Johnson. I'm a resident of Dolton. This is my first time coming to this meeting. And as I stood back there and listened, I was ashamed to be a resident of Dolton. I was ashamed that we have a panel of trustees in there of color and they can't get along.
Wow.
Mayor, I appreciate the work that you're doing. I've noticed the work that you're doing in the community. I believe in second chance.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody do not do everything right. It's okay to give a second chance. And I know everybody don't agree with me. It's okay. I feel that we all should work together. I don't need a job. Somebody else said that. I don't need a job either. But I believe in helping. I believe in us coming together. I believe you all should just take a step back and realize and think about what you all are doing. I stood back there, you all are going in circles and going off of one word of what someone said. It's ridiculous. We need to get it together. I want to be proud to live in Dolton. And at this moment, it's no proudness to it. And if we can just work together and stop worrying about, well, she not doing what I want to do, she not doing what let's just work together. Let's become one. That's all I have to say. And I want to be proud to live in Dolton.
My name is Cortez Bernard. I'm a recent resident of Dolton. I just moved here this past year. This is my first time attending this board meeting. That's all I have to say. It's loud. You guys are amazing, like wow. Really, like I can get on each and every one of you. You know, you're a saint. You're for the people. I like your aggression. Keep doing what you're doing. Work with the mayor. Numbers don't lie. It took you 12 days to respond to a FOIA request. You're doing good. You got some great ideas. You just an attorney. Your face has been twisted ever since this meeting started. You don't know what side you're gonna be on. It's just nothing but dislike. Lock back lock, great idea. I'm ready to write in. So I would pay and do whatever it takes to get each and every last one of y'all off the board. That's not for this whatever it is.
Yeah, all right.
We need younger police staff. My 2-year-old daughter could have caught the criminal. Too much leniency on business that's around in Dolton. Litter everywhere. I have a picture, drug bags all in my yard. Soliciting, laundering, all out in front of the liquor stores. You guys find the residents, why not find the business more? So it's just a lot. So this is not the last time you guys want to see me. There's so much. I should have brought a pen and paper so I can have it all written down. But I will attend the next one. And man, I will pay whatever it takes.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, trustees. Good evening, residents. Well, my comment is pretty much the same. It is a shame to see this. I've been here as a resident for 3 administrations. I've been here as a resident for 3 administrations. This has been the same thing every administration. There really should be a handbook right about now on rules and regulations on how to run this village. Because we've been doing this same thing for over 8 years. It is so sad. And I do want to say, I don't want to see the mayor leave. I don't want to see none of the trustees or the clerk leave. Because there has to be a standstill at some point where we have to get this together. We can't keep tearing each other down. It cannot keep happening. There's also, before we start getting all these expensive attorneys, I know everybody gotta know, in Markham Courthouse, there's a free law library. Why are we always using the people's money to come here and y'all taking it out of our pocket? Today was such, even though the agenda mentioned that this is what y'all were gonna talk about, this should have been about us and about what's gonna transpire for us. And it's so unfair. But this has to stop, because if none of you can't get along, I don't think any of you should be there. Not the trustees nor the mayor. We cannot continue to run a village like this. This has to stop. I'm tired. I'm very tired. And I'm just hoping that y'all listening to these people. And then what the young lady was stating with the new house, why not send opinions out to the public to get their word on how things should be ran? It's our money, why not? It's not too expensive for y'all to do everything else, so why not send surveys out? Have a great day, everybody.
Morning. Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak. For those that don't know who I am, I'm the owner of 300 West Silver. For those that don't know what's there, it's the dome-shaped building, used to be the Premier. For the previous 12 years, prior to Mayor Hendrick's election, administrations cost you $1,000 a day.
Excuse me, Mr. Michael, can you speak in the mic? So we hear you back. You can grab it.
The previous administrations have cost the residents of this village $1,000 a day, every day. That's the cost of that building sitting up. It's cost me the same money, $1,000 a day, every day for 12 years. The lawsuit was initiated in 2014. It was settled in December of 2016. It required the village to do certain things that were in compliance with the settlement covenants. For 5 years, the village did nothing. Continued to burn through your money and mine. Thankfully, Mayor Henry was elected. Mayor Henry has taken the lead to conceptualize converting that building into a restaurant room, to bring a beautiful set of restaurants into the community to service everyone's needs. I'm going to open an old-fashioned donuts. For those of you that are familiar with old-fashioned donuts in Roseland, I purchased the rights to expand. I opened a location on the west side. I'm going to open one over here. It's going to provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours a day. Mayor Henry's conceptualization, support, energy is going to make that happen, assuming the support of the board. So I would just simply like to say thank you to the mayor, thank you to the board in advance.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you to everyone. And please support the development.
Hi, guys. My name is Jerry Dolton.
Speaking in the mic.
Allison, Jason, my dance partner. And yeah, we were the family there. We were the team. Dream on dream. What happened now? What happened? Now, you guys are going after her to recall a seat, just like Trump. It didn't work. But I'm going to tell you something. If you do pull it, remember one thing. Not only is it going to open up for this town, that's 50 states that will recall those. And you know what? A lot of people will be unhappy. So think about what you're doing. Okay, because if you recall states in Illinois and the town, that means it's going across 50 states. You're going to be popular, but not the way you want to be. So you better think about it.
Good evening. My name is George Williams. I'm quite sure everybody knows me. But I have a question concerning public work. In the 152nd block of Grant, we need attention to 2 trees in there. I'm tired of cutting up those big limbs. So if you could come by 152nd and Grant. And my next concern is to the mayor. I have to say this. You've been knowing me a long time, but I have to say this. Now, I know the pandemic is still going on, but just about everything to open up. Now, what I can't see is there's just a few chairs in here. Why can't we have this open for the residents to come in? We all taxpayer. And we just only got a few residents. We got a lot of residents out there that wants to come in, that can't come in. So if the restaurant is open up and everything else, why can't Phil Hall be open up to the restaurant? That's on my mind. So if you can just think about it, give everybody a chance to want to come in. Or some of them want to come in tonight. That's all I have to say.
Good evening, I'm Kim Austin, for you guys that know me. Hello trustees, hello mayor. I'm glad to be here, I'm glad to be back, because I was one of those employees that got done wrong on the last administration. and nobody spoke up for me. As good a job as everybody claimed I did and was doing, nobody spoke up for me. I got terminated for no reason. Then I get brought back, come back working. I didn't go my career to come back to work here for $15 an hour. I paid somebody to sit with my mama $75 a day to come here. So I come here as a passion for the people to see things change and to make things better. What do I get? Plastered on Facebook. I didn't do anybody wrong. I didn't talk down to nobody, didn't talk about nobody. As a matter of fact, when I was terminated, I thank you guys for the opportunity because I walked away with a multi-million-dollar net worth. So I wasn't angry about getting terminated, but to come back and to do a great job and then to be smeared. You know, I was brought to an inspection that I didn't do, being a trustee, and an activist show up, and they trying to say, well, you had to know the people because you passed the inspection when I didn't even do the inspection. So, I mean, I'm walking on eggshells working here. And I come here and try to do my job and do the best at it. I service anybody, help anybody, do what I can, go above and beyond. And then I have to come work and worry about what they're going to come with today. Or who's watching, or who's taking pictures, or who's in my business. You know, even people that I go to church with. Get on news and tell people, oh yeah, she was another girl that was fired and she bought back. Yeah, she bought me back. Stubbs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I didn't have nothing to do with that. And if you had a problem, you should have addressed me.
Order, please.
Order, don't call it back to the
There's 1 minute
trustees
remaining.
and the mayor. I just want to thank you guys. I'm going to keep you guys lifting in prayer because it's not even stand the battle, we fall. You know, we have an opportunity to be a part of making history. I am grateful to know somebody that's making history. You know, why can't we just all get along? I mean, give a lady a chance to mess up. Y'all got her with 24-hour security. Ain't no messing up now. So let's just get along, man. Let's make Dolton a great place to live. You know, please. You know, for the sake of our future generations, like, you know, you got daughters at home that can see that they can be a mayor, a daughter at home that can be a supervisor. I mean, come on now, y'all. Let's come together on this. For real, let's come together on this. And like I said, once again, I'm gonna keep you guys lifted.
Good evening, everyone. I really wasn't gonna come up here, but I had to. Just want to say that I've listened, you guys know me, I've been out here about 23 years. I want to attest to a couple of things. The block by block, as it stands, is not a bad idea. I think what I heard tonight was, give us a plan. And I also heard, you guys sit down and do it. I brought an opportunity, and I do work for NHS. It's a free opportunity for what Ms. Brown was talking about, for an organization to come out and sit with you guys and talk about what this vision is, documented for you at no cost. Didn't happen. I contacted the administrator twice. I came up here, nothing happened. Dead in the water. There may be an opportunity for them to come back. I don't know if I want to make the call, but I don't like wasting people's time, because my time is valuable. The other point is, I heard people say that the trustees are doing things without asking for it. They talked to me. They talked to a lot of people. We are all not going to agree, but I agree with something that has been said. You got to get this together. One last thing for the residents, there's an event Saturday. If you're behind on your mortgage, property taxes, insurance, condo association, homeowner association, at the Park District, we're taking applications 10 to 2.
Security.
I'm sorry.
My name is Garrett Gessie. I'm a lifetime resident of Dolton. There's a lot of history that goes down in this town, a lot of people don't know about. We can do a little bit of a time check here. Let's go back to May 20th, 2013. Our mayor then, Trustee Hendrick. This is a quote. She stated, "Trustees are asked to make decisions without looking at a budget or including people being hired." This is something that's going against the trustees right now. The trustees want transparency on this. But this is what was stated back in May 20th, 2013. We can also go back in time. Let's go over to July 7th, 2014. Beautiful Village Hall, MD, gave us this hall. But on July 7th, 2014, then Trustee Hendrick voted no to accept this building, along with two other trustees. There was a problem as far as who's gonna pay for it. MB was giving us this building free. MB also would pay $10,000 to update all the tech services, and then Stan Urban, our town administrator, and Napoleon Harris, our state senator, were gonna pay for any additional expenses that went to taking this building over. We could not stay in the other village hall because it was not handicap accessible. So this is one of the reasons why we're in this building now today, because there was 3 other trustees that voted for it, 3 trustees voted against it, and the mayor at that time, Riley Rogers, broke the tie. So that's why you're in this building today. Then we can go on. One other issue I have. We all talk about transparency in this town.
1 minute remaining.
Transparency, one thing. I had a water bill in January. For 26,000 gallons of water I used between October and December. I tried talking to then William Moore 5 separate times, could not reach him. Went through his spokesperson, Pat, could not reach him. Then I went in on 3/29/22, paid my bill, actually paid the bill. Then I said, "Can I speak to Juanita Thompson?" The clerk who took it, she said, "I don't know who Juanita Thompson is." I said, "This happens to be your boss." You had people working in the water department that didn't even know who was in charge. And I said, "This is where our transparency, it's more like invisibility. This does not exist. You cannot reach these people." And like I said, between Anita and William, it was 8 times, and still, this is from January, and still to this day, I have not been able to talk to these people.
And we've reached the 3-minute mark.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Good evening, everyone.
You gotta pick it up and hold it.
Yes, sir. Hey, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to stand in front of everyone at this meeting at 9:30 in the evening. But I'd just like to say to the board, tall respect to each and every one of you, because I know it's like to sit up there on the hot seat and be asked certain things, and there's certain things that comes at you. But just so happened, I happen to be a worker for the Dream Team. Sister Jason House, Kiana Belcher, Allison Key, Tiffany Henry. Worked very hard for you ladies and gentlemen to get here. And this was not the dream that we were talking about. And I actually worked for free. I got paid nothing. The campaign office, Jason, Kiana, Allison, Tiffany Henry. I made that happen. I got you guys in the campaign office. I helped furnish the place. I brought workers there to work for me. I got paid nothing for that. Now I'm here, we're in the village hall, and something that hasn't been in fruition
the Fire Police Commission. It has been going on for 3-4 years, Chief Pete.
Yes, sir.
It just so happened, I put my hand up to volunteer to work for you guys again. But the board, you tell me you don't want me. You don't want me to be on the Fire Police Commission board. That's a non-paid salary position. I'm a 32-year resident in the village of Dolton. Former trustee. I sit on the school board 205. That's another position that you don't get paid for. But I'm being turned down to help a village that I live in, to help get us some more young, efficient, effective police officers and firemen. We have police officers working 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Because I know if I go home from here and my back door is busted wide, 1 minute remaining. I'm not going in there. Call the police. So now we can't hire police officers because the present board don't want the Fire Police Commission board that's been put together. That's unfair to me as a resident for 32 years. And the other members on the board are residents. That's unfair to us. We just want to work, we just want to help, and we want to work for you free. I asked board, why not let me work for you again? Just take that in consideration, because it's unfair that you got residents that want to work for you free. And if you mention Mayor Hayden's name, you're an enemy. I'm not an enemy to her, I'm not an enemy to you guys. I'm all your friend. But it's been unfair to me that you tell me I can't work for free.
I brought this mask because I'm like you, and I need some dental work done. Nobody knows like mine. But that was my wife, and we just moved here. And he made me speak because my bill, I was paying my bill every month, and we just moved here last year in February. And my taxes, I don't know how people, everybody say your taxes out here. When you pay for your place and you sign all the papers, they say your taxes gonna be one thing, and when you get here, they change your taxes. And then my water bill, they did the same thing. I paid my water bill every month on time, and then in January, they did that same thing to me. So I came right here and I talked to the lady named Pat. She did me like too. I kept calling her. I came back till I got it still went up. They still shot me again. And then the same thing with that water reading the meter thing. You know, I'm like, what's he reading it from? Because what he talking about, he must got a special device. Because when I went to read it, anyway, we found out how to go on my wall and I read it, and my bill still high. But thanks for paying on my street. I went for 14800. I had the worst thing in the world. But they paid it. My light, they got a light across the street. I never seen nobody in the city post a light up. But they got it up there, and it's up there, and it's lit. I really like what you're doing. I don't know what the previous mayor did, but I can tell you what I heard from you all. I got that this what's this block on block thing, and everything else y'all been talking about. It sounds like, but he said it's been going on for 8 years, so it don't matter who the mayor is, because he said Tiffany didn't agree and vote for the same for this place, but now she was doing the same thing as a trustee.
1 minute remaining.
That y'all doing to her. Man, y'all remind me of the Will Smith slap. And everyone that sat in the audience did that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was so upset with the slap. I was more upset that he did that, you know, my mother's wife and my mother. But when you do that, I just felt, see, him and the other 3 or 4 white people in here, because y'all do it too. Don't tell that lie. You go home, you go, you know, I guess gospel, we do the same thing over and over. So, when we go mad? Wow. And I looked at you like this guy back here, he worked with y'all, and he know that y'all
he's not gonna be a part of it. He worked with you all. You, like that pastor said, you see the people that have said, thank you, cause you one of them. You one of the same people that I don't see it. This was the most biggest waste of time I ever. I don't know why. I want to see the 5:30.
Thank you, sir. We've reached the 10.
All right, I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I could have stayed at home. I never seen no wow. Y'all wasting y'all a lot of time. I don't see how y'all do it. I don't see how y'all sit there and waste y'all time like that. Y'all really some good people. Come on, boy. Let's go. God bless y'all. Oh, and I need a job. I need a second job. I'm here so everybody see my face. Don't forget me. I need a job.
Okay, you right.
Oh, you come up for executive session, and then she said she didn't want to go.
You can have it.
My name is Desmond Shootford. This is my hometown, Dolton. Remember, I actually got my first job here at the township. I was cutting grass for Frank, and we were all over the township doing that. We had a team of 3, and the teamwork was real important to get stuff done. We would, cut yards in 30 minutes flat. You know what I'm saying? 3 of us just move to the next, like clockwork. It was pretty cool. I'm here today because I was actually going to check on my auto shop over in Riverdale. A couple people were dumping on my lot one time, and so I was just checking on it. Since it's not operational yet, due to me finding funding and stuff. But anyway, as I was driving by, I saw something going on here. So let me stop by and see if you guys are wondering why I'm here. And I'm pretty excited to see the togetherness here. Although we are in a tough time. To be honest, y'all know this. I even noticed it because over in Indiana, I own about 20 properties. Right, I'm only 28. To be honest, I don't want any of those properties. Due to the headache it comes with and managing it. You're doing it solo, and it gets tough. Nobody wants to work, even for me. To be honest, I can't find no workers at all. Everybody look at me like you're 28. I don't want to work for you, because probably think I'm a smart or whatever. That's not the case. I'm really just trying to move things forward, if that makes sense. One other thought, it would be cool to see here in Dolton. It would be nice to see recycling. I think that's a big thing. That would be pretty cool. I don't know how the ports work over here with the trains. Maybe we can ship that out and make
1 minute remaining.
But I'm gonna keep it short. That's all I gotta say. And hey, keep going.
There's been a lot of division for the past decade. The previous mayor and the board, we had a division with the current mayor and the board. It's disgusting. I was at home watching. It's just absolutely disgusting to see what's been going on in this ministry. I've asked that it be peace, that it be some kind of accord, but it's the same thing. We had the same attorney now representing the board that was sitting there silent, representing Rodney Rogers. Your current attorney sits there in silence, representing you. This has got to stop. It's not helpful for the residents. I've never seen anything on the agenda for residents. Block by block, these debilitated, blighted houses need to be demolished before we start selling anything. It needs to be safe for our children to walk down the street and not get pulled into an abandoned building. It'll be nice to go outside and not have filth and dirt blowing in your face. If the lead from the windowsill will affect children and their development, what does abandoned buildings do? Blowing in the community. But everybody thinks it's okay to be, angry and laugh and funny. But has anybody looked at their property tax overview to see how much debt the village of Dolton has us in with lawsuits and bonds that's being paid instead of bills not being paid, like the water is a bond issue? So what are we gonna do about that? I don't care nothing about fighting. I've seen that my whole life. But while the fighting is going on, it's a big diversion as to where that money's going. Where's the money going? That's what I want to know. I don't care about no rumors. I heard you got a Tesla charging station. I ain't seen it. I came looking for it yet. I ain't looking for it. It's a lot of things on here. We shouldn't have people with a background so egregious walking around with a badge like they the police. It's confusing to me as an adult, let alone children. This type of debauchery shouldn't be going on at all. I'm not going to argue with nobody. No more. I'm not going to ask you where your FOIA is at. If it should be another FOIA officer, what I will do is call John Losh and Kwame Raoul and let them do their job. Because I'm tired, and we're going to know who's stealing and who's doing what and what's mismanaged. And Ms. Brittany, can you please get your phone number listed on the village website? Yeah, because we pay for that phone. Absolutely.
And we've reached the 3-minute mark.
Tracy Brown. That's why I'm here. I asked you guys to share your parts, your story, because I'm not a one-sided person either. I love all of you guys. Some of you I've known for years. And I feel that one of the ways to come together and to give an account is to start posting some stuff. That way people can come in and see where money's going. This has been paid, that has been paid, because it takes out the he said, she said, and we got it, and she paid this, and we didn't pay that, and they didn't want to pay it, and because it's confusing. I don't know who to believe, because I want to believe everybody. But the point is, somebody's lying. I don't know who. So we don't know who. So one of the ways, start posting something. Get something that can show what bills paid, and the trustees voted on this. If that's what it takes, it's like writing it down and letting everybody see it. Or some type of way, well, still that way, for people to be able to have access to what's been paid, who paid it, when it was paid. It's so simple. It's just accountability. Just let it be open. This needs to be paid, because some churches have done it. I go in church, big old board. We got this expense, that expense, this has been paid, that's been paid. It's just that simple. That way, money questions won't be asked, sort of thing. Just get it out there, post it some type of way. And that way, we'll know where the money's going. Because at the root of all of this, it is money. What are we gonna do? Everybody's gotta get paid that's supposed to be paid. And thank you guys for everybody for bringing monies in from others. But again, it's gotta be spread wisely. And everybody has said, from the mayor on to the board, we need to work together, come together. We tried this, we tried that. You did this, you did. So again, one of the ways is to just get some type of board.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. And what needs to be paid? And the final thing is, I came and I asked about, I sent pictures out, as you were saying, to, show the sidewalks. And so that was back in December. And I called and I asked, and they directed me to somebody who said, well, it's not, it's just a notion, so to say, but we don't have it up and running yet. I said, okay. So I waited, and then I came in and I asked, and I was directed someone over there who said, call Public Works to find out where you picked the went. I said, outside, call Public Works. They said, you gotta go to Village of Dolton. Okay, I get out the car, come back in here. And then they directed me to someone in the office who told me, go speak to the mayor. So nobody knows where my pictures went for my sidewalk. So I just want to bring that to your attention so you can let them know let the residents know when you send your pictures out, let them know where it's going, because I need to know if something they receive it, because I want to be on the list to get the sidewalks fixed.
And we've reached the 3-minute mark.
Thank you. So I love you guys. Y'all know that, but just get it out there to the public. That way nobody can blame you for doing anything.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, trustees and residents. I'm not going to be long. I've only got about a few points. Number one, I was appalled, and I take offense after 23 years in this village, coming to meetings, being on committees, to have somebody warn me. I'm a Chicago police detective, retired. Been in security for 46 years. If I have to come in this place, if it's dangerous enough that I come in here, what the hell is going on up in here that we gotta be warned? What was expected? Everybody should have had a problem with it. Because if you had to check me, what did you think was up in here? Am I safe coming up in here?
No.
I run a security business. My rule is we don't police people, we secure people. I want you to feel secure. I don't want you to feel police. Couldn't park my car because of police car. Can't get through the door because of police officers. I'm not at the jail. This is unacceptable. The young lady over here said something about coming up in the village. We've been out of this village almost a year now. But we've had parties, we've had dinners, we've had Easter egg hunts, we've had everything. COVID wasn't concerning then. That's right. COVID wasn't concerning the other night when we were in here. We sitting up in here now. Ain't nobody 6 feet apart but maybe you and me. So are we really concerned about COVID, or are we serving our own agenda? I supported Tiffany. I got on the air for Tiffany, but I said to Tiffany, you gotta watch your mouth. You can't say everything you think. Surround yourself with the right people. There are rules for a reason. What I heard up here tonight is the rules aren't being followed. Why do we have ordinances? If you can put your own twist on it and do what you want, then the hell with the ordinances. Just do what you want. Everybody's happy. Everybody all happy.
1 minute remaining.
Because you breaking the rules, and that goes for anybody up there that does it. Anybody. That goes for you, not answering people's phone calls. You get a paycheck out of this village. And to sit there like this all night, you act like you don't even want to be here. I'm done.
All right, that ends public comment. We're gonna go into closed session now. If you guys wanna stay to see what happened afterwards, you're welcome to. Other than that, we'll see you in another 20 minutes.